Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to PrepFusion. So in this video, we are going to study about a complex integral. So in the previous videos, whatever that we have studied, no? Basics we studied, then analytic function we studied, then singularity and residue. Everything will be used here. Along with that, your vector calculus will also be used. Okay. And if I talk about complex analysis, then in complex analysis, the most important topic is complex integral. But you know everything already. If you see this lecture, no, in this lecture what we will do is that we will just solve the questions and questions only. You can see questions everywhere. There is questions only. Hardly there will be 10 minutes of concept. Hardly 10 minutes of concept. Rest everything you already know. Okay. But vector calculus concept will also be used in a very low amount. Okay. In a very low amount, vector calculus concept will also be used. So let's get started. Okay. So do you remember when your closed line integral a dot dl for any closed path, for any kind of closed path, in the presence of vector field a, your closed line integral a dot dl for any closed path is coming out to be 0, then what we used to call our vector field a? Sir, our vector field a was known to be conservative vector field. Let's just say this is my vector field a, this is my vector field a. In the presence of this vector field a, I am going from point P to point Q with respect to different paths. And if I take a closed path here, if I take, let's just say if I take a closed path here, across this closed path, if I calculate, let's just say this is my path C. So across this closed path, if I calculate a dot dl, what will be the answer I will be getting? I will be getting 0. Okay, so closed line integral in the presence of a conservative vector field will always come out to be 0. And if I am moving from P to Q using a path C1, I am moving from P to Q using path C2, and I am moving from P to Q using path C3, all will give us the same results. That means I am moving from P to Q using path C1. Using path C1, P to Q I am moving a dot dl. Then I am moving from P to Q using path C2 a dot dl, and then I am moving from P to Q using path C3 a dot dl. All are giving us the same results. Okay, let us say that result is alpha. All of them will give us the same result. What does that mean? That means moving from P to Q is path independent. You can move through any path, you will get the same answer only. So this is known as your vector field A is conservative vector field. All these things we have already studied in our which chapter? Conservative vector field. Where we have studied all these things? Sir, we have studied all these things in our vector calculus chapter. So just we are revising it, nothing else. Whatever that we studied in vector calculus, we have revised that. Now similarly here, your f of z being analytic in domain D will serve that same purpose. So let's just say what I mean to, let's just see what I mean to say here. Okay, let's just see what I mean to say here. Okay. So what is this? You need to calculate fz dot dz. What you are supposed to calculate? fz dot dz. This is what you are supposed to calculate over the path C, and this path is closed path. Now this path C, in complex analysis, this path C is known as closed contour, or you can write it down as contour. Contour. What is the name? Contour. But it is the same thing. This is the closed path. This is the closed path. Here it is known as contour. Now what I am saying is that for the value of z, in domain D, let's just say this is the domain I am choosing. That my value of z could be any point which is lying inside it. Any point which is lying inside it. My value of z could be any point which is lying inside this loop. Okay, and I am moving anti-clockwise. Let's just say I am moving anti-clockwise. So I need to move along this path anti-clockwise. On this curve C I need to move, and this curve C here it is known as contour. So I need to move along this curve, and I need to calculate this value fz dot dz. What is your z? Sir, I already know z is x plus iota y. So what will be your dz? So dz would be nothing but dx plus iota dy. Say yes or no. Okay, and what is your f of z? Sir, f of z is nothing but u plus iota v. So let's write down all these things. F of z is u plus iota v. And what is your dz? So dz is nothing but dx plus iota dy. Along the curve C you are moving. and it is analytic in domain D. What is domain D? This is your domain D. Whatever that is inside, no, this is known as your domain D. This is your domain D. The function is analytic in domain D. What is the meaning? That we will see later on. But what is the meaning of domain D? That you would have understood that inside this contour, whatever the points are existing, no, at all the points your function is analytic. Understandable? That means inside this, what I can apply? I can apply the CR equation. Ux will be equals to Vy and Uy will be equals to minus Vx. So inside this contour, I can apply the CR equation. Okay. What you are getting now? U dot dx plus iota u dot dy plus iota v dot dx. Now iota will become iota square, so this will become minus v dy. I hope you are able to understand. U dot dx, u dot dy, but iota is there, plus iota v dot dx, and iota will become iota square is minus 1, so this will become v dy. So now I am taking u dx aside, minus v dy, this is the real part, plus iota over the path C we are supposed to calculate, plus iota u dy plus v dx. So this is something we are supposed to calculate. This particular thing and this particular thing we are supposed to calculate. So let's call this as I1 and this as I2, and this is our integral I. This is our integral I. So I is I1 plus I2. So let's talk about I1 first. What is our I1? So I1 is our closed path C u dx minus v dy. U dx minus v dy. Can I write it down in this way? Closed path C u I cap minus v j cap multiply with dx I cap. This is not iota, okay, this is I cap j cap. Dx I cap plus dy j cap. Say yes or no. So isn't it looking like some vector A? Isn't it looking like some vector A dot dl? Say yes or no. This is your dl path. If you are moving on xy plane, this will be your dl, no? This is your A dot dl and this is your vector A. So closed line integral A dot dl will be equivalent to what? Do you remember the theorem, Stokes theorem? So it would be del cross A dot ds vector. Can you write down the ds vector for this particular path? Yes sir, absolutely. Sir, my ds vector would come out to be nothing but dx dy, and use the hand, dx dy k cap. Right? Now can you write down del cross A? Absolutely sir. I can calculate del cross A as well. What is the answer you are getting for del cross A? Sir, I cap, j cap, k cap. Although this derivation is not necessary, although you will remember the final results only, but still, if we are learning mathematics, let's learn it with a simple derivation, because it might be used in your examination only. U minus v 0. So when you solve it, what answer you will be getting? So answer will come out to be k cap. Your v will be partially differentiated with respect to x. Your v, look, with respect to I cap you will do, no. So this will be 0, this will be 0. Like y or del v by del z will be equals to 0. Can anyone tell? And y or del u by del z will also be equals to 0. Can anyone tell? Because both are function of x comma y. No, this is a function of v is a function of x comma y. V is a function of x comma y, and u is also a function of x comma y. So if you are partially differentiating your function, which is a function of x comma y, with respect to z, the answer will be 0 only, no? So only k cap term would come. This and this will give you 0 result, and then for the j cap term, this and this will give you 0 result. Now only k cap term will come. So for k cap, what will happen? Your v will be partially differentiated with respect to x, so minus vx, and your u will be partially differentiated with respect to y, so minus uy. So what you are getting? What you are getting here? So I1 is coming out to be, what is del cross A? Just 1 second. Yeah, sorry for the interruption guys. One call came in between, and it was an important call actually. Yeah, so what is our del cross A we are getting? So del cross A we are getting is minus sign outside I can take vx plus uy, k cap, and k cap dot product with k cap will be 1 only. So vx plus uy dx dy. This is what we are getting. Right? Now you know that, sir, in our, like, this is your region. Can you write down this is your region S? This was your curve C. Now when you are applying this Stokes theorem, then what you are saying? That in this region S I am applying this Stokes theorem. whatever the region that is bounded by the curve C, in that region you are applying the Stokes theorem. Now in this region, or you can call it domain D as well, no? Because what is the region that is bounded by this curve C? That is domain D only. Now in this domain D, you know that function is analytic, and if the function is analytic, then you know that, sir, ui is equals to minus Vx. That means ui plus Vx equals to 0. ui equals to minus Vx means ui plus Vx equals to 0. So ui plus Vx is nothing but 0 only. So what is the answer you are getting here? I1 is coming out to be 0. Is that clear or not? Absolutely clear, sir. In the domain D, the function is analytic. Answer is 0. What about I2? Sir, for I2, again I will do the same thing only. Again, sir, same thing will be applied. A dot dl, sir, again everything will be same. In I1, what really happened? Whatever that was with dy, no? Whatever that was there with dy, that was partially differentiated with respect to x. Whatever that was with dy, that was partially differentiated with respect to x, minus whatever that was with x, that was partially differentiated with y. You can see minus Vx minus ui. So similarly, whatever that is there with respect to dy, that will be partially differentiated with respect to x. So here you will be getting ux minus whatever that is there with respect to the dx, that will be partially differentiated with respect to y. So you will get ui. So this is the result that you will be getting. You can do it on your own as well in the same process. In this same process, whatever that we have done here, you can do the same process here as well. You will get this result. Is that clear to you? And now you know that, sir, in the region as the function is analytic. What does that mean? That means, sir, ux minus vy will be equals to 0. ux minus vy will be equals to 0. That means I2 is also coming out to be 0. So what is your function I? Sir, so what is your integral I? Integral I was I1 plus I2 only, which is coming out to be 0. Or you can write down that my closed line integral fz dot dz will come out to be 0 if fz is analytic in domain D. Analytic in domain D. Now what is domain D? Sir, domain D is nothing but the region bounded by contour C. Region bounded by contour C. There you go. This is the conclusion that we have made. A very, very important conclusion, that closed line integral is coming out to be 0. Now, if the closed line integral is coming out to be 0, what does that mean? That means, sir, the integral will become path independent. Say yes or no. What I mean to say is that, sir, for closed line integral, I have got the answer. What I mean to say, let's keep it downward. I am saying that my f of z is analytic in domain D. This is what I am saying. F of z is analytic in domain D. If it is analytic in domain D, then what you can say? Then you can say that, sir, closed line integral fz dot dz will come out to be 0 for the curve C. And what is the curve C? What is the contour C? This is your contour C. This is your contour C. And what is your domain D? Domain D is the region bounded by the contour C in xy plane. Everything is going in xy plane. This is your y, this is your x. Everything is going in xy plane, and this is your domain D. Now, if closed line integral is coming out to be 0, then can you interrelate that fz being analytic is equivalent to vector field A being conservative? Say yes or no. So did you understand the meaning of first slide? Why I said that this first slide is important? Because here also closed line integral was 0, here closed contour integral is 0. So if your closed contour fz dot dz is coming out to be 0, what does that mean? So it is equivalent to vector field A being conservative. So what you can say? That, sir, in this domain D, in domain D, if I find out fz dot dz over curve C1, or I find out fz dot dz over curve C2, here the name will be contour. In the examination, name contour will be written, but I will be using the word curve. But in the examination, contour word will be written. What is the word? Contour. C is nothing but a contour. They will use the word contour. Okay? Contour. So in the domain D, if I move from point P to point Q using the curve, let's just say this is my domain D. This is my domain D. This is my domain D. In this domain D, my function is analytic. In this domain D, my function is analytic. Now if I move from A to B, using the curve C1, using the curve C1, or I move using the curve C2, or I move using the curve C3 in the domain D, what result I will get? All the results will be same if your function is analytic. If your function is analytic, that's the condition. Is that clear to you? So what this question is saying, that you need to calculate the integral from 1 plus iota to 1. What does that mean? If you make the xy plane, what does that mean? That from where to where you are moving? 1 plus iota to 1. What is 1? What is 1? 1 means the value of x is 1, the value of y is 0. This is your point 1, 1 comma 0. And what is the meaning of 1 plus iota? 1 plus iota means this point, 1 comma 1. So you are moving from 1 plus iota to 1. That means you are coming from here to here. You are coming from here to here. This is what you are doing. And this is the integral you are supposed to calculate. This is the integral you are supposed to calculate. This is the question that they are asking. Now, do you know about anything about this function? Yes, sir, it is an entire function. It is an entire function. What does that mean? That means, sir, it is analytic everywhere. Analytic everywhere. So, sir, no matter whichever the path that you are using, in the examination, what they can do is that they will say, here in place of writing 1 plus iota to 1, they will write down contour C here. Then you will say that, then they will say contour C is somewhat like this. Now you calculate the closed line. Now you calculate the open line integral. It is open line integral only, no? I hope you understand the meaning of closed line. This is closed line, this is closed line, and this is open line. So you calculate the open line integral. This is the question they will ask. So you would see that, sir, yes, it is an entire function. So, sir, no matter whichever the path I use, if I come from here to here, then also I will get the same answer. If I come from here to here, sir, then also I will get the same answer. Sir, whichever the path I will use, I will always get the same answer. That means my target is that you simply integrate. You simply do one thing, that you simply integrate. What is the integration of z plus e to the power z dz? That would be, sir, z square by 2 plus e to the power z, and then simply put the limit. No problem. 1 plus iota to 1. That's it. Because it is an entire function. Everywhere it is analytic. So you need to move from 1 comma 1 to 1 comma 0 using any path. You will always get the same results. So the path is not a matter of concern. Here path is not even given. Now the question would be that sir, you are calculating the integral, you should give the path. No. Why they did not give the path? They did not give the path because path is not a matter of concern. No matter whichever the path you take this path, this path, this path, always you will get the same result. Because why you will get the same result? Because it is an analytic function everywhere. Even if you take this path, no, that you go from here to here, then you here, and then you reach here, then also you will get the same result. Is that understandable to you? Okay. So just put the value, you will get the answer. Put the value 1 by 2 plus e to the power 1, then minus 1 plus iota square by 2 plus e to the power 1 plus iota. Although final result is not important, I am just telling that, yeah, this is how you can solve. This is the answer that you are getting. Okay. So no matter whichever the path you take, that's not a matter of concern. Understandable? Let's see more questions. With questions, you will have good enough practice. Okay. So only conclusion we have made is this. This is the conclusion that is important. This is the conclusion that is important. Say yes or no. Or I should not keep it in a box. But you know that which conclusion is important. This particular, from here onwards, you need to remember the results. That, sir, if your f of z is analytic in domain D, then your closed line integral will come out to be 0 only. That means there is no problem whichever the path I use. Sir, what if it is not analytic? Then what will happen? That we will see. But as of now, what we are seeing, that it is analytic. And if it is analytic, there is no meaning of path, sir. Any path you use. So, sir, if this question is asking, I may use C2 path, I may use C3 path as well. If they are asking C3, I can use C2 path, I can use C1 path. Whichever is easier for me, I will use that particular path. So let's get started. Let's see the next question. You need to evaluate this integral where curve C is the upper semicircle, y greater than equals to 0. Y greater than equals to 0. They have given upper semicircle you need to take, transferred from z equals to minus 1 to z equals to plus 1. So first let's make the curve C. Okay, let's make the curve C. C, in place of calling it curve, what they will call it? They will call it contour. Okay, so let's make the contour C. So what is your contour C? In xy plane, it is going from, in xy plane, it is the upper hemicircle with y greater than 0. So it is the upper hemicircle. So upper hemicircle will look somewhat like this. Upper hemicircle will look somewhat like this. And what do they mean that it is going from z equals, transferred from z equals to minus 1 to z equals to plus 1? z equals to -1 to z equals to +1, and in bracket they are writing counterclockwise. It is not counterclockwise, it is clockwise. No, what is the meaning of z equals to -1? Z equals to -1. What is the meaning of z equals to -1? Z is nothing but x plus iota y. No, so that is -1 plus iota 0. That means this is your -1 comma 0, and this is your 1 comma 0. So from -1 to 1 you are going. So it is not counterclockwise, it is clockwise only. No, so this is clockwise only. So you are moving from z equals to -1 to 1 on this circle, on this semicircle, and the equation of this semicircle is x square plus y square equals to 1. That means the radius is 1 here. The radius is 1. This radius is 1. This radius is 1 here. Say yes or no. Understandable? You are supposed to solve this question now. That means you need to move along this path. Now what do I know? That's this is analytic. Always analytic, right? Always analytic. Since it is always analytic, then rather than moving on this particular path, what I will do? I will use a different path, and which that path will look somewhat like this. My target is that I need to reach from point P to point Q. This is your point P, this is point Q. They are saying that you move along this curve. I will say that since it is analytic, no. So if I move along C1 or I move along C2, both will give me the same result. If I move along C1, or I move along C2, both will give me the same result. Why is that so? Because sir, function is analytic. Both will give me the same results only. So instead of moving on this curve, what I will do? I will move along this straight line. What the straight line is saying? The straight line is saying that you go from z equals to -1 to z equals to +1. That's it. This is what they are saying. You move from z equals to -1 to z equals to +1. So simple thing. What will be my integral? My integral is saying that limit of z. You move from z equals to -1 to z equals to +1. Z equals to -1 to z equals to +1, and then calculate the integral. That's it. This is the question. So can you tell the integrals? Yes sir, it will be z cube by 3 z square 3z, right? Z cube by 3 plus 2z square by 2, so it will become z square plus 3z, going from z equals to -1 to 1. So what is the answer you are getting? 1 by 3 plus 1 plus 3 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 3, right? So what you are getting? 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 3 and minus 1. So 3 plus 1 by 3. 10 by 3 into 2, 20 by 3 is the answer that we are getting. 20 by 3. अच्छा आंसर लिखा हुआ भी है. 20 by 3 is the answer that we are getting. This is the answer. 20 by 3 is the answer that we are getting. So this was your method 1. This was your method 1. Now someone would say that, sir, I don't even know the meaning of an analytic function. I don't know what is an analytic function. Then how will I solve it? If you don't know the meaning of an analytic function, that means you will have to move along this path. So now we will solve by method 2 without using the concept of an analytic function. Without the concept of an analytic function. What is the meaning here? Without the concept of an analytic function means, that means sir, now you will move along the curve C only, or contour C. I have the habit of calling it curve C, but here what is the word they will be using? They will be using the word contour C. So along the contour you will move. Okay, along the contour you will move. Along this contour you will move. Let's not write it down. I don't even know the meaning of an analytic function, sir. Then how will I solve it? This is the task. Okay. So along this contour you need to move. You know the equation, x square plus y square equals to 1. This is the path that you are moving with, right? This is your x, this is your y. What is the radius? The radius is nothing but 1 only. What is the radius? Radius is 1. This radius is 1. So from where to where you are moving? From here to here you are moving, right? From point A to point B you are moving. That means you are moving on this curve, no? On this yellow curve. On this yellow curve, if I say my value of z is r e to the power iota theta. So on this yellow curve, what is the value of r? What is the magnitude of my complex number? On this yellow curve, what is the magnitude of my complex number? Sir, always it is 1, no? What is the magnitude? Magnitude is the, if I talk about 2 plus 3 iota, what is the magnitude? This is the magnitude, no? Right? So magnitude is always 1 only. Here what will be the magnitude? Under root 2 square plus 3 square. Here what is the magnitude? R will be always 1. So on this curve, what is the value of? On the curve where you are moving, on the curve, where you are moving, what is the value of z? Value of z is actually e to the power iota theta. Is the value of theta changing? Absolutely. From where to where theta is starting? Sir, theta is actually starting from here because you are moving from this point till this point. So what is the value of theta at point A? Sir, it is pi. It is 180 degree. Then, sir, it will become how much? 120 degree. Then it will become, sir, 90 degree. Then it will become 45 degree. Then it will become 0 degree. That means you are moving from 180 degree to 0 degree. See the arrow, no? 180 degree to 0 degree. 180 degree to 0 degree. Are you able to answer this point? So that means theta is actually varying, and theta is varying from pi to 0. This line is very important. It is varying from pi to 0. From pi to 0 it is going. So this is the value of z. Can you find out the value of dz? Absolutely, sir. When I find out the value of dz, r is constant, that is coming out to be equals to 1. So I don't care about r. Now I need to find out the value of dz, that will come out to be e to the power iota theta. What is the differentiation of e to the power x? That will be e to the power x only. And what is the differentiation of e to the power fx? That will be e to the power fx, then differentiation of fx, right? So e to the power iota theta, differentiation of this guy will come out to be iota d theta. So dz is coming out to be iota e to the power iota theta d theta. Say yes or no. This is the value of dz. And what is the value of z? The value of z is e to the power iota theta. So these two things are important for us. That means I need to find out my integrals over the curve C, which is this curve C, over the curve C, which is fz dot dz. Z square plus 2z plus 3 dot dz. Z square plus 2z plus 3 dot dz. Here I got to know that, sir, if I am moving on this curve C, my value of z is nothing but e to the power iota theta, because r is constant, and dz value will come out to be, because theta is varying, so it will come out to be iota e to the power iota theta d theta. There you go. So your I would be, in place of z, what you need to put? E to the power iota theta. So this will become e to the power iota 2 theta. E to the power iota 2 theta plus 2 e to the power iota theta plus 3. What is dz? Dz will be iota e to the power iota theta d theta. Everything is coming in terms of theta only. So what is the limit of theta? Theta is going from pi to 0. Theta is going from pi to 0. Okay. So theta is going from pi to 0. So e to the power 2 theta. Iota you can take outside. Iota is a constant number. So iota I am taking outside. E to the power iota 2 theta multiply with e to the power iota theta. That will become e to the power iota 3 theta plus 2 e to the power iota theta, and this will become e to the power iota theta. So it will become 2 e to the power 3 e to the power iota theta. Iota, this is iota, this iota I have taken outside. It is very tough to call iota theta. This is a very tough word, iota theta. E to the power iota 2 theta, e to the power iota 3 theta. I hope you are able to understand. 2 theta plus theta will be 3 theta, theta plus theta will be 2 theta, and this is purely e to the power theta. So what is the answer you are getting? This is the answer that we are getting. Now what we are doing? Can you integrate this? E to the power iota is already outside. What is the integration of e to the power iota 3 theta? That will be divided by iota 3. 2 e to the power iota 2 theta, that will be divided by iota 2 plus 3 e to the power iota theta, that will be divided by iota. Understandable? Going from pi to 0. Do we have the page? Absolutely, we have another page. Now iota iota will get cancelled out. What is the integral you are getting? Iota iota is getting cancelled out. So integral that we are getting is e to the power iota iota is getting cancelled out. No, iota you can take outside. So e to the power iota 3 theta divided by 3, e to the power iota 3 theta divided by 3 plus e to the power iota 2 theta. 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. No, so e to the power iota 2 theta divided by 2. Sorry, divided by 2 will not come. No, 2 and 2 is getting cancelled out. So e to the power iota 2 theta, and iota is also getting cancelled out. So you are purely getting e to the power iota 2 theta plus iota iota getting cancelled out, 3 e to the power iota theta. 3 e to the power iota theta, with the limit going from pi to 0. Pi to 0. So here you put the limit 0, that will be 1 by 3 plus 1 plus 3 minus e to the power 3 pi. E to the power 3 pi is minus 1. So this will become minus 1 by 3. E to the power 2 pi will be 0. Right? And here you are getting minus 3 again. So yeah, so e to the power 2 pi is 1, not 0. Sorry guys, big blunder. I do this blunder again and again. I don't know why. E to the power 2 pi, what is the value? 1. E to the power 3 pi, what is the value? So it is 2 pi plus pi. So it is minus 1. And e to the power pi, what is the value? Minus 1. So all these values I have put, nothing else. So what answer I am getting? So this 1 in 1 will get cancelled out. 3 plus 1 by 3. Same answer you are getting 20 by 3. So answer is 20 by 3, which was pretty obvious. So this much lengthy calculation was not required in the examination hall, but still you are building up a good concept. What if this was not analytic? What if it was e to the power z bar? Is it analytic? No, it is not analytic. As far as I remember, it was analytic only at z equals to 0. Say yes or no. You can check it. So although I know that it is surely not an entire function, it was analytic at some points only. It is not an entire function, right? So if it is not an entire function, then what I would do? What I would have done? I would have to solve in this way, no? Right? I will have to put z equals to r e to the power iota theta. In that manner, I will have to do the calculation, right? The calculation would be a bit complex in this way. So it might happen that every time your function will not be analytic. If it is analytic, then it is very good for you. You can simply use the path. Till this point in the GATE examination, questions have been asked on analytic function only. But who knows if it is not analytic, then this is how you will solve, no? That value of r is 1. If you are moving on this curve, value of r is 1, value of theta is going from -5 to 0. Then z equals to r e to the power iota theta you need to put. Job done. Is that clear or not? Completely clear, right? Other ways are also there, but they will be just lengthy. What you can do is that in place of z you can put x plus iota y as well, and dz would be dx plus iota dy, and like whatever that we did here, no, whatever that we did here, that process also you can do. So it will simply become a question of integral. It will simply become a question of vector calculus, but that process we will not do here. Okay, but you can do it actually. This process again, it will become somewhat like this, but answer will not come out to be 0. This time answer will be 20 by 3. This time everything will not get cancelled out. Something you will be getting. Okay, so double integral you might have to calculate and all those things, which will be difficult to solve, right? So yeah, you can try doing it on your own if you want. Z equals to x plus iota y. So this will become x square minus y square plus 2 iota xy. This will become 2x plus iota 2y plus 3 dx plus iota dy. Then iota you take outside, and real value take one side, and imaginary value you take one side. The imaginary part will come out to be 0. Real part will throw the answer to be 20 by 3. But two methods are more than enough. Let's see more questions. Every kind of question I have already framed, so you will not feel any problem in the examination hall. This question is there. Evaluate the line integral. This particular thing with respect to dz. What is the meaning of dz? They will give in the examination hall that z is x plus iota y, and value of dz is dx plus iota dy. They will give it in the z value. They will give. You know that dx is dx plus iota dy. Now, if someone starts to solve blindly, if someone will see that sir question is there, I will solve it blindly. Then how he will solve? Then this is how he will solve. That sir, I along the curve C, I will see what is the curve. I will see that later on. But along the curve C, I need to move. So this is the function that is given: x square minus y square plus 2x plus iota 2xy plus 2y, sir, dot dz. What is dz? So dz is nothing but dx plus iota dy. So this is the scenario that I am supposed to calculate. Now, sir, I need to move along the curve y equals to x cube from the point 0, 0 to 1, 1. Right? I need to move. What is z equals to 0? Z equals to 0 means 0, 0. Z equals to 0 means 0, 0. This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So I need to move from 0, 0 to 1, 1. 0, 0 to 1, 1. Along the path y equals to x cube. Y equals to x cube. Along this path I need to move. So I am not thinking about an analytic function or anything. I am blindly solving it now. So along this path I need to move somewhat like this, which is y equals to x cube. So what I need to do? How to solve these kind of questions? In vector calculus we have studied, no? One variable I will make, x equals to t, y will come out to be t cube. So what is the value? If I put x equals to t and y equals to t cube, then what will be the value of dx? Dx will come out to be dt, and what will be the value of dy? Dy will come out to be 3t square dot dt. Right? So what I will do here? I equals to x value is t, so this will become t square minus t to the power 6 plus 2t square plus iota 2 t to the power 4 plus 2t cube dot dx value is dt plus iota 3t square dt. Say yes or no? Right? So from here dt you can take common, no? Dt you can take common. T square minus t to the power 6 2t square plus iota 2t to the power 4 plus 2t to the power 3 1 plus iota 3t square dot dt. Right, this is in the whole multiplication. Okay, this is in the whole multiplication. You can directly see that calculation is already going complex. And what is the value of t? Sir, you can see that sir x is going from 0 to 1, so t is also going from 0 to 1. T is also going from 0 to 1. Now you notice one thing, that this whole thing is in multiplication. This whole thing is in multiplication of this guy, right? So solve it now. Okay, solve it. Bottom line is that it is lengthy. This is the bottom line, right? What is the answer actually? If I see the answer, yes, it will be lengthy. This process will be lengthy. Iota real part is also there. So basically it is simple integration, no? What you need to do is that you multiply this thing with this part, then you multiply this thing with this part, then you integrate with respect to t, and then put the limit of t going from 0 to 1. This is the process that you are supposed to do. So do this process, eventually you know that lengthy calculation, right? But if I have a bit of brain, if this function comes out to be analytic, then do I need to work on this path? Is it necessary to move on this path? If this comes out to be analytic, then sir, what I can do is that instead of moving on this path, which is a bit complex, I will directly move on this path. I will move on this path. I will directly go from 0, 0 to 1, 1 along a straight line. Instead of taking this path, why the calculation is becoming complex? Because sir, y equals to t cube. Here you are putting t to the power 6, sir. That's why it is becoming complex. If y becomes equals to x, if you are moving along the straight line, then y will be equals to x. So if y becomes equals to x, then a lot of factor will get cancelled out. So sir, my problem will be solved. I will be happy, right? So let's see if this is analytic or not. If this is analytic or not, right? So let's see if your f of z is analytic or not. So what is f of z is u plus iota v. F of z is u plus iota v. What is the value of u? Value of u is x square minus y square plus 2x. X square minus y square plus 2x. And what is the value of v? Value of v is 2xy plus 2y. 2xy plus y. So partial differentiation of u with respect to x, 2x plus 2. Partial differentiation of u with respect to y, minus 2y. Right? Partial differentiation of v with respect to x. अरे भाई साहब ये सेम नहीं आ रहा. Partial differentiation of yes, it is coming same. Yeah, I thought these questions are framed by me only actually. So I thought that I framed something which is not analytic, because if it is not analytic, then this is the method only. If this comes out to be not analytic, then this is the method only that is left, because here I did not use any brain. No, this was my method 1. Here no concept of analytic function I used. Directly sir, I need to move from here to here. X equals to t, y equals to t cube. Job done. Dz I am simply replacing. X equals to t, y equals to t cube. Dx value I know. Dt, dy value will be 3t square dt, and solve. Right? If it is not coming analytic, then there is a problem. Then this is the only method left. But surely it will come analytic. Partial differentiation of v with respect to x, that is 2y. Partial differentiation of v with respect to y will come out to be 2x plus 2. This same, this with the negative sign. Yes, it is analytic. And since it is analytic, then what you can see? If it is analytic, then sir, instead of moving on this curved path, what I will do? I will move on this straight line path, which is following the equation y equals to x. Sir, now what will happen is that my function will become y equals to x, that I can assume as t. So my dx would be coming equals to dy equals to t. And now sir, my integration would look very, very simple and very, very good as well. And sir, value of x is going from 0 to 1. So value of t will also go from 0 to 1. Value of y will also go from 0 to 1. So value of t will also go from 0 to 1 only. And how this integral will look? X equals to t, y equals to t. So this will become t square minus t square plus 2t plus 2t plus iota. Here what you will put? This will become 2t square plus 2t. 2t square plus 2t. Right? 2t square plus 2t dot in the whole multiplication. Everything is going in the whole multiplication, because in the whole multiplication dot dz was there, no? So dot dx is dt and dy is also dt. So dx dt plus iota dt. So what you can do is that you can take dt outside, it will become 1 plus iota, which is a constant value. So 1 plus iota is a constant value which you can take outside. T going from 0 to 1. T square getting cancelled out. 2t plus iota 2t square plus iota 2t dot dt. So what is the answer we are getting? 1 plus iota t square plus 2t cube iota 2t cube by 3 plus iota t square, with t going from 0 to 1. So 1 plus iota 2 by 3 plus iota, right? So you can solve it. This will become 1 plus iota 5 by 3. So 1 plus iota 5 by 3 plus iota minus 5 by 3. So 1 minus 5 by 3 will be minus 2 by 3 plus iota 8 by 3. Yes, this is the answer that we are getting. So if someone had used the brain, then it would be easy for him. Okay, so this is the answer that you are getting. This is the answer that we are getting. Minus 2 by 3 plus 8 by 3 iota. If someone is more smart, no? If someone is very smart, then how he would be solving it? If someone is very smart. Method 3. Very smart approach. Now what he knows? That sir, f of z has come out to be analytic. Sir, f of z has come out to be analytic, and he has studied a lot. He also remember what MT said. What Milne and Thomson said. What MT said? That your x is z and y is 0. So what was your integral given? Sir, I know that function is analytic, no? So let's do one thing. In place of x, you put z, and in place of y, you put 0. Then you will get this function in terms of z, no? F of z you will get. It is in terms of x and y. In terms of z, I will get. What I will do? In place of x, I will put z. In place of y, I will put 0. So what I will get? Z square plus 2z. Z square plus 2z. Z square plus 2z. Plus iota. Here I will put z, 0, 0 plus 0. It will be 0 only, no? In place of y, I need to put 0. Here also 0. So iota 0 dot dz. dz. And from where to where your z is going? So z is moving from 0 to 1 plus iota. Z is moving from 0 to 1 plus iota. Did you understand how did he make f of z? Yes, sir. X should be replaced with z and y should be replaced with 0. So x he replaced with z, y with 0. So this became z square plus 2z, and they are 0 only. So z square plus 2z is the function, and limit of z is going from 0 to 1 plus iota. And there you go, job done. Limit of z is going from 0 to 1 plus iota. If someone is very smart, then this is how he would be solving it. But don't be very, very smart in the examination hall. First check if the function is analytic or not. Although till this date, whenever they have framed the question, no, they made the function to be analytic only. But if there is someone like me who wants to frame a good question, I will make sure that this function is not analytic. Okay, I will make sure in that manner. I will surely make sure that this function is not analytic. Okay. So always don't try to be over smart. Be smart there, but don't try to be over smart. Always check if the function is analytic or not. If function is analytic, with respect to z we are doing. If the limits were put in the terms of x and y, then I might have solved in x and y. But it would click to me that limit is put in the terms of z. I can simply see that it will become z square plus 2z. It will be a very easy integration for me. My job would be done. Sir, it will be a very easy integration. Job done very easily. Z cube by 3 plus z square, because 2z square divided by 2 plus z square, with z going from 0 to 1 plus iota. So 1 plus iota cube divided by 3 and 1 plus iota square. These are the things that we are supposed to solve. 1 plus iota square, that is nothing but 2 iota only. 1 plus iota square is nothing but 2 iota, and 2 plus iota will be 2 iota minus 2. Okay, so this will come out to be 2 iota minus 2 divided by 3. 2 iota minus 2 divided by 3 plus 2 iota. Okay, it is not difficult. 1 plus iota square you can do, no? A square plus b square, that will be iota square, that will be minus 1 plus 2ab. So what is the answer? 2 iota. Now this is cube. So what I did? 2 iota multiply with 1 plus iota. So this 2 iota goes inside. This will become 2 iota minus 2. That's it. So what is the answer? 2 iota by 3 minus 2 by 3. This is your 2 iota. So 8 iota by 3 minus 2 by 3. So someone is very smart, then he would solve in this manner. Okay. If someone goes blindly, then this is how he will start. He will struggle. It will be lengthy. If someone is good enough smart, then he will see, okay, yeah, they are analytic. Let's do one thing. Instead of moving on this path, let's move towards this path. So if I move from this path towards a straight line, then this is what I can do. Okay, so from a straight line he can move, and this is the answer that he will be getting. If someone is very, very smart, he also remember what empty said. If empty said that function is analytic, then x is z, y is 0. Simply replace it and put the limit. But always check if the function is analytic or not. Let's see this question. This question. Can I make another method here? Can I make another method? Z equals to r e to the power iota theta, that you can make, but let's not do it. Like basically, let's solve it with z equals to r e to the power iota theta. So here what will happen? This time your theta value is fixed, no? Theta value is 45. If you are moving along this path, so theta value is fixed. That is 45 degree, right? Because this length will be 1, this length is 1. So theta value is fixed, but the value of r is changing. So here what I would have done, z equals to r e to the power iota theta. So z equals to r e to the power pi by 4. So e to the power pi by 4 is fixed this time. So this will become dz equals to dr e to the power pi by 4. Now what I will do is that here in place of z, what I would put r square, z square will become r square e to the power iota pi by 2 plus 2z would become 2r. 2z would become 2r, and what your dz would become, that would become dr e to the power pi by 4. Now e to the power pi by 4 can go inside. Value of r is going from, what is the magnitude? Here you can see the value of r is going from 0 to 1. So value of r is going from 0 to 1. So you can put value of r going from 0 to 1. This is something that you are supposed to solve. This is a constant value, it can come outside. Here also this will be constant, and this 2 is also constant. In that manner you can solve. So n number of ways are there. If you are good enough, no, we have studied so much of calculus. Limit continuity differentiability. In basics of calculus we started, and now we are at the end of complex calculus. So we have so much of knowledge now that how to take the polar variables, how to take how to solve the question in x and y. Now we can solve the question in z as well. So we have so much of knowledge. If question is coming on calculus, no matter how much tough they frame it, we will be able to solve it. That kind of confidence you need to have now. Okay, because we have done so much in calculus now. Let's solve this question. If someone is very smart, what he will do? If someone is very, very smart, what he will do? He will directly say, sir, analytic, and something he will start doing. It is not even analytic. This function is not even analytic. There is no other way. There is only one method. Method 1. Okay. And here the straight line segment is also mentioned, that you are moving from z equals to 0 to 1 plus iota, but through a straight line. Through a straight line. From 0, 0 to 1 plus iota you are moving through a straight line. So this time they have given the segment as well. Okay. So what is the equation of this line? The equation of this line is, sir, nothing but x equals to y equals to t. And this function is not analytic this time. You can check, but those who are good enough smart, they know that, sir, f of z is nothing but this is z conjugate, or you can say z bar. And z bar is not analytic. It is the function, it is the polynomial in z bar. It is not the polynomial in z. If it was polynomial in z, then it would have been analytic everywhere. It would have been an entire function. But it is the polynomial in z bar. That's why it is not analytic. So you cannot apply this method that, sir, I can move along any path or anything like that. You will have to solve it now. What is the way of solving? Sir, x equals to t, y equals to t. What is dz? Z is nothing but x plus iota y. So dz would be nothing but dx plus iota dy. Okay. X equals to y, that means dx will be dt. Iota dy would be iota dt. This is your dz. So what is the dz value we are getting? Dz value we are getting is 1 plus iota dot dt. Right. So this is the integral that we are supposed to calculate. And value of t is going from 0 to 1. Value of t is going from 0 to 1. What is the value of x? Value of x is t. What is the value of y? That is also t. What is the value of dz? That is 1 plus iota dt. So 1 minus iota into 1 plus iota. So what you are doing is that from 0 to 1, you can take t common. From here you can take t common. So this will become 1 minus iota, 1 plus iota, t you are taking outside, dot dt. Say as well. And what this will become? A square minus b square, this will become 2. This is a minus b into a plus b. So a square minus b square. What is iota square? That is minus 1. So 1 minus of minus 1 will become 2. So this will become 2. 2 integration going from 0 to 1 t dot dt. What is the answer you are getting? 2 t square by 2. Integration going from 0 to 1. Answer is coming out to be 1 only. Okay, 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. Put the limit 1 minus 0 will be 1. This is the answer 1. Okay, so there is no other method, no analytic function, nothing. You cannot move along any path. You need to move along this path only. If it was given as y equals to x square, then also this question would have been interesting. Some people would have moved like this, but that would have been wrong. Okay, you need to move along this path only now. Whatever the path that is given, along that path only you need to move. Although the calculation was very easy here, x equals to t, y equals to t as well, dx equals to 1 plus iota dt. Directly, very easily you got the answer, because calculation was very easy here. Okay, so no need to worry much here. Answer is 1. Let's move to next question. Again the same thing, but this time how you are moving. Same function is there, everything is same, but this time you are moving from z equals to 1 to minus 1 in the upper half of the unity circle. Upper half of the unity circle. How you are moving? C is the upper half of the unity circle, mod of z equals to 1. So what is the upper half of the unity circle? Upper half of the unity circle will be this one. And how you are moving? You are moving counterclockwise. That means from 1 to minus 1. This is your z equals to 1 and this is your z equals to minus 1. So from 1 to minus 1, you are moving counterclockwise. Say yes or no. Okay. This is how you are moving. On this curve C. This is your curve C. This is your curve C. This is your curve C. Understandable? So how will you solve it? Two ways are there again, method 1 and method 2. What I would have preferred, I would go by z equals to r e to the power iota theta. This is what I would go with. Why is that so? First of all, it is not analytic. Then you cannot say that, sir, I will move from here to here. That would be wrong. Like if someone would say that, sir, I will solve this question in this manner, x minus iota y, and in place of dz I will put dx plus iota dy, and sir, x going from minus 1 to 1, and sir, if I am moving from, sorry, x going from 1 to minus 1, x going from 1 to minus 1, x going from 1 to minus 1. Why I did not put the limit of y? Because someone would say that, sir, I am going through this path. No, that means if he is working through this path, that means y is not even changing. If he is working through this path, that means y is not even changing. No, that means dy would be 0. And what will be the value of y on this line? The value of y will also be 0. So can I solve in this way? That would be absolutely wrong. Right? So someone would say that, sir, y 0, dy 0, x dx it is coming out to be, so x square by 2. And sir, my answer is coming out to be, if I put x square by 2, my answer is coming out to be 1. This answer would be wrong. All of this is wrong. Because the function is not analytic. All these things you could have done if the function was analytic, but this is not analytic now. That means you cannot change the path. You have to move along this path only. Now in this path, what is the scenario? Z equals to r e to the power iota theta. I hope you have understood what I have done here. What I did, nothing. In place of dz, I have put a dx plus iota dy. Now someone would say that, sir, I will move along this path. I will move along this path. If you are moving along this path, then there is a problem. You cannot move. And if you are moving along this path, that means you are moving from x equals to 1 to minus 1. Are you changing y? No, there is no change in the y. Right? From here to here you are moving, there is no change in the y. So y dy is 0, and what is the value of y on this axis? On x axis, what is the value of y? That is 0 only. So in place of y you put 0. So it is coming out to be x dx. Now x square by 2, limit is put from 1 to minus 1. So answer will actually be 0 actually. Here he is getting the answer to be 0. He is getting the answer to be 0, which is actually wrong. Or it would be correct. Luckily it is correct. Okay, luckily it is correct. Luckily this answer will be correct. I guess when you solve it, answer will come out to be 0 only. No, it is not coming out to be 0. Okay, not correct. Yeah, so he would put the answer to be 0, which is incorrect. Are you able to understand this point? So this answer is incorrect. Okay, so this process is wrong. So here what we need to do is that, what I will say, I am moving along this curve, Sir, on this curve, what is the value of r? The value of r is always 1, sir. And how the theta is varying this time? This time, sir, theta is going from 0 to pi. Theta is moving from 0 degree to pi degree. I should not say pi degree since it is radian. So theta is moving from 0 to pi. Okay. So what is the value of z? Z is e to the power iota theta. What is dz? Dz is e to the power iota theta, iota d theta. Okay. Understandable? And how theta is moving? Theta is moving from 0 to pi. What will be this thing? This thing I already know, no? This is z bar, x minus iota y. That means what is your f of z? Sir, here what is this function? This function is nothing but x minus iota y, that I already know it is z bar. And if your z is r e to the power iota theta, then what will be your z bar? So z bar would be nothing but, and what is your z? Actually your z is e to the power iota theta. So what will be your z bar? So z bar is z conjugate, that means in place of iota you need to put minus iota theta. That's it. So how your integral is looking like? So my integral is looking like, in place of this x minus iota y, I can put z bar, and z bar is nothing but e to the power minus iota theta, because z is e to the power iota theta. Why z is e to the power iota theta? Because r is equals to 1. So if r is 1, then z will become e to the power iota theta. So z bar would become e to the power minus iota theta. And what is dz? Dz is coming out to be iota e to the power iota d theta, right? Iota taking outside, iota e to the power iota theta d theta. Now you can see that, sir, theta will go from 0 to, theta will go from 0 to pi. Now e to the power minus iota theta and e to the power iota theta will get cancelled out. Iota will be coming outside, only iota will be coming outside, d theta, with theta going from 0 to pi. So what is the answer you are getting? Iota pi minus 0. So answer is iota pi. What is the answer? Answer is iota pi. That's the answer that we are getting. That's the answer that we are getting. Okay. So what is the answer? Answer is iota pi. Answer is iota pi. Understandable? Is that clear or not? So this was your method 1. Now someone would say that, sir, I don't want to solve in z, I want to solve in x and y. So let's solve in x and y. He can solve it in x and y as well, no? He want to say that, sir, what if it did not click to me that it is z bar? What if it is not clicking to me that it is z bar? That means I will have to solve in x and y only. So in place of dz, what he will put? Dx plus iota dy. Dx plus iota dy over the curve C. Now is it a difficult task for you? Sir, x multiply with the dx will be dx, x multiply here, it will become iota dy minus iota y dx plus y dy. Say yes or no? Understandable? Y dy, sorry, y dy. X multiply with dx, x dx, x multiply with dy, x dy, iota x dy minus iota y dx, and minus iota multiply with iota, this will become iota square, so it will become plus sign, so plus y dy. This is what you are getting over the curve C. What is your curve C? This is your curve C. So let's make the curve C. Let's make the curve C. If I move along the curve C, then what is the scenario that I am having? What is the scenario that I am having? I want to ask you one thing, guys. Don't you get bored looking at my face? Like if you are someone from EC, then probably you are studying all 10 subjects from me, right? That means if you study all 10 subjects from me, that means you will have to see my face for 1000 hours, at least 1000 hours, more than 1000 hours actually. So don't you get bored of my face, or you feel like that, sir, tomorrow I will wake up and I will have to see your face only. You guys will let me know in DM, okay? Those who are our Titan Slash student, they will let me know in my DM, or if someone is watching on YouTube, then he can let me know in a Telegram that what kind of motivation you have that tomorrow I will wake up and I will have to see his face again. Okay, yeah. So what is the scenario? This was our path, no? Now everything we are solving in terms of x and y. So what I will do? On this curve I need to move, right? On this curve, what is the value of what is the relation between x square and y square? That is x square plus y square equals to 1. So now I will take the help of polar coordinate system. Polar coordinate system. What I will do? I will take help of polar coordinate system. So x equals to r cos theta and y equals to r sin theta. And theta is the angle made with the x axis in the anticlockwise direction. So what will be your x? X will come out to be, sir, r will be always 1 here, right? On this curve if you are moving, r will be always 1. So x will come out to be cos theta, y will come out to be sin theta. R is always 1 only, r is always 1 only, and theta is going from 0 to pi. Basically the same process we are repeating, nothing else. So what will be dx? Sir, dx will be nothing but minus sin theta d theta, minus sin theta d theta. And sir, what will be dy? dy will be nothing but cos theta d theta. There you go, put the values. and theta limit is going from 0 to pi. Start putting the values. What is the value of x? Cos theta. What is dx? Dx is minus sin theta d theta. Minus sin theta d theta. Plus iota. What is the value of x? X is cos theta. What is dy? X is cos theta and dy is also cos theta. So this will become cos square theta d theta. Minus iota y dx. Y is sin theta and dx is sin theta. So this will become sin square theta d theta. So positive sign will come here because it will become y dx will become minus sin square theta d theta. No, so minus minus. So this will become minus sin square theta d theta plus y dy. What will be y dy? Y dy will become sin theta cos theta d theta. Sin theta cos theta d theta. So this and this is getting cancelled out. What you are getting? Theta going from 0 to pi. Iota you take outside. Cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1 d theta. So what is the answer? Iota pi. So this is the answer that you are getting. Okay. So anything we have, any way we can solve. If someone would say that, sir, it is not even clicking to me in the examination, all that it is z bar, then how I would have solved it? That if it doesn't even click that it is z bar, then you would have solved in this way. That you will go in terms of x and y only. X dx plus iota x dy minus iota y dx plus y dy. So you can see that, sir, on the curve I need to move. On this curve, sir, I can see that my radius is always 1. The value of theta is going from 0 to pi. X equals to r cos theta, y equals to r sin theta. Job done. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Upper half of the circle, sir, something they are asking. Will I try to be smart? Yes, I will try to be smart. I will check whether it is analytic or not. On a first glance, it looks like that it is not analytic. This function, I will check whether it is analytic or not. So my u is 2y, my v is x, right? U plus iota v. Partial differentiation of u with respect to x is coming out to be 0. Partial differentiation of u with respect to y is coming out to be 2. Partial differentiation of v with respect to x is coming out to be 1. Partial differentiation of v with respect to y is coming out to be 0. Not analytic, right? Here only, not analytic. Not analytic, that means solve it in a crude way. Crude way means that you will have to move along the path. Now, sir, here you were lucky enough that it clicked to you that it is z bar. It is z bar. That means you could convert it into e to the power minus iota theta. What I mean to say is that now someone would do what someone would do. Someone would make the path. Sir, how I need to move? Again, the same path is there. Again, sir, the same path they are asking. Again, they are asking the same path. That means I cannot copy now. But sir, again they are asking us the same path. Sir, I will follow the same process now. Yes, you follow the same process. But let me know, can you represent this in terms of z? Can you represent this in terms of z? Can you represent this in terms of z? You will not remember empty here. Empty will always be applicable when function is analytic. Don't say, sir, what empty said. Sir, empty said x is z, y is 0. Then, sir, my f of z is coming out to be y is 0, x is z, that is iota z. This would be absolutely wrong. This would be absolutely wrong. This would be completely wrong. F of z is not iota z. Why is that so? Because what empty said that we will be applicable when function is analytic. Now this guy is not even analytic. This is not even analytic. Not analytic. Not analytic. So empty will say, I am also gone now. Your intuition are also saying that here it was z bar. I click to you. But now you let me know what you will write down in terms of z. What is your answer? You will say, sir, I don't know. Right? I cannot write it down. I cannot represent it in terms of z. It is not clicking to me. Then who will say? Who will come? Then this method will come. Which method? This method will come. That I will help you now. Nothing. No z. Nothing. Let's go to our vector calculus now. Let's go to our simple calculus now. Simple calculus means calculus of real variables. Let's go there. This is your x. This is your y. Where you need to move? You need to move along this path. X square plus y square equals to 1. I am moving along this path. What you do? You go into the polar coordinate system. What you see here is that from the origin, always the distance is same. Only the angle is changing. Only the angle is changing. Right? So what is your x? X is r cos theta. That means x is cos theta. What is y? Y is sin theta. Angle is changing. You already know what is dx minus sin theta d theta. And what is dy? Dy is cos theta d theta. Everything is in your command. Write down the integral. You already know theta will change from 0 to pi. What is the value of y? Y value is nothing but 2 sin theta. Iota, what is the value of x? Cos theta. What is dz? So dz is nothing but dx plus iota dy. So what is dx? Dx is minus sin theta d theta plus iota dy. Dy is iota cos theta d theta. Okay. So what answer you are getting? Integration going theta going from 0 to pi 2 sin theta and multiply with sin theta. So this will become minus 2 sin square theta. 2 sin theta plus iota cos theta. So iota 2 sin theta cos theta d theta plus sin theta cos theta. So minus iota sin theta cos theta. And then iota it will become iota square. So this will become minus cos square theta d theta. That's the scenario. Say yes or no. Simple multiplication I am doing, nothing else. Everyone will be having theta, no? Why is that so? Because sin theta, this will become minus 2 sin square theta. Now 2 sin theta multiply with iota cos theta. So it will become 2 sin theta cos theta with the iota sign outside. Iota cos theta sin theta d theta. And then iota will become iota square. So minus cos square theta d theta. This is the answer that we are getting. Right? So what we can see? Theta is going from 0 to pi. Minus 2 sin square theta d theta plus again theta going from 0 to pi. Minus 2 sin square theta d theta. Again theta going from 0 to pi. Minus cos square theta d theta. Then again theta going from 0 to pi. It will become 2 iota sin theta cos theta minus iota sin theta cos theta. So it will become iota sin theta cos theta d theta. So I will multiply and divide it by 2. Right? Let's see what this could be written as. Sir, value of theta going from 0 to pi. This could be written as minus 2 sin square theta could be written as minus 1 plus cos 1 minus cos 2 theta. Dot d theta plus theta going from 0 to pi. What cos square theta could be written as? Basically I am applying this formula. Cos 2 theta is nothing but 1 minus 2 sin square theta 2 cos square theta minus 1. So 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So minus sign you take outside. 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2 dot d theta plus iota theta going from 0 to pi sin 2 theta d theta. Now you guys already know these guys will throw 0 answer. This guy will also throw 0 answer and this guy will also throw 0 answer. Why is that so? Because sir, you can draw their graph, no? They will have the time period of what? They will have the time period of pi. So this is a full time period. Sin theta will have a time period of 2 pi. But sin 2 theta will have a time period of pi. So it is full time period. In full time period, this will throw 0 only. This will also throw 0 and this will also throw 0. So this will become minus 1 d theta with theta going from 0 to pi. This will become minus 1 by 2 d theta. So what will be the answer you will be getting? Minus 1 d theta. So minus 1 into pi. Minus 1 by 2 into pi. So answer is coming out to be minus 3 by 2 pi. I hope this answer is correct and there is no calculation mistake. Yes, minus 3 by 2 pi. That's the answer that we are getting. Integral you can do on your own. Surely you can do integration on your own, no? Right? My job was till this point. After that integration, these kind of integration like at least 50 times we have done. At least 50 times. You can apply the gamma function as well. Right? Gamma beta function, whatever you want to apply, that function also you can apply here. But this is simple, no? Sin square theta is only there. So simply you put the formula 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2 to get cancelled out. This will become minus 1 d theta. Cos 2 theta will throw 0. Cos 2 theta also will throw 0 here. So answer will come out to be minus 3 by 2 pi. That's the answer. Understandable? Let's go to the next question. Sir, so much of big question. So in the examination, here I will be pretty sure that it has to be analytic function, right? Because if it is not analytic, then solving in x and y, it will take 3 years. And you see the path. See the path. Y equals to x minus x square. We are moving from 0 to 1 You are moving from 0 to 1 through which path? Y equals to x minus x square. You see the path as well. X minus x square. That means it will look somewhat like this, like x minus x square. No, at minus infinity it will be minus infinity, plus infinity as well it will be minus infinity. So this is how you will be moving. Like, can you see the path? If I make the path, you are going from z equals to 0 to z equals to 1, right? From z equals to 0 to z equals to 1. So where will be your z equals to 0? This will be your z equals to 0. This is your xy plane. Xy plane. This is your z equals to 0 and this is your z equals to 1. So you are moving from z equals to 0 to z equals to 1 along the path y equals to x minus x square. So can you differentiate 1 minus 2x? So your maximum will be at 1 by 2. It will not be maxima, it will be actually minima. So minima will be at 1 by, it will be maxima or minima. After 1 by 2, the scenario would be that it would be negative, positive. Yeah, it would be maxima. So your maxima would be at 1 by 2. Here would be your maxima. So the graph would look somewhat like this. This is how the graph would look. But you need to move from z equals to 0 to z equals to 1. So this is how you will move. This is the path. This is the path. Okay. The path is this, which is y equals to x minus x square. So along this path, you need to solve this particular scenario. E to the power 2x cos to y, e to the power 2x sin to y. Is it possible? Do you feel like that? No, it will be very difficult. No, right? Here polar coordinates also you cannot use. Polar coordinates also it will be difficult to use. So instead of moving on this path, what we will do? We will move on this particular path. Say yes or no. Are you agreeing to this point? Instead of moving this on this particular path, we will move on this path, and this we can do only when this is your path. Let's say this is your path C, but I will make the path C1, and this you can do only when this is analytic. So let's check it if it is analytic or not. So what is your u? U is x square minus 3xy square plus whatever it is u I can directly see, just write down u of x. Partial differentiation of u with respect to x. What will be the answer? Sir, 3x square minus 3y square plus 2 e to the power 2x cos 2y. Partial differentiation of u with respect to y. This will be 0. This will become minus 6xy plus or minus 2 e to the power 2x sin 2y. Now partial differentiation of v with respect to x, what it will become? 6xy plus 2 e to the power 2x sin 2y. And partial differentiation of v with respect to y, 3x square minus 3y square plus 2 e to the power 2x cos 2y. You can directly see that yes sir, it is analytic, nothing but analytic only. If it is analytic, then what you will do? You will work from z equals to 0 to z equals to 1 using this path C1. And you are very smart. Since it is analytic, what you will say? Sir, I remember what MT said. What MT by said? MT by said that x is z and y is 0. So just listen to MT. So what your function will come out to be? If x is z, z cube. Y is 0, this will be 0. Y is 0, this will become e to the power 2z. Z cube plus e to the power 2z. Because y is 0, cos 0 will become 1. Y is 0 here, this will be gone. Y 0, this will be gone. Y 0, this will be gone. Y 0, this will also be gone. Because sin 2 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0, everything would be 0. So that's it. This is your f of z. There you go. Now what you are supposed to calculate? Integral I you are supposed to calculate. That is z cube e to the power 2z dot dz with z going from 0 to 1. Z going from 0 to 1. There you go. This is your question. This is what they wanted to ask, which can be asked in class 11th as well. Right? So what is your integral I? Integral I is nothing but z to the power 4 divided by 4 plus e to the power 2z divided by 2, e to the power 2z divided by 2 with z going from 0 to 1. Z going from 0 to 1. So 1 by 4 plus e to the power 2 divided by 2 minus, this is 0 and 1 by 2. So e to the power 2 divided by 2 minus 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Yeah, so that's the answer. This is the answer that we are getting. I guess numerical answer they would have given here, right? Yes. So let's calculate the answer. What is the answer that we will be getting? E square by 2 minus 0.25. E square by 2, that is 7 point something, I guess. E square by 2. E square by 2 minus 0.25. So yes, 3.44. 3.44. That's the answer that we are getting. This is the answer we have, 3.44. Okay. So what is the answer? Answer is 3.44. Understandable? So this is for those students who are very smart. Now those who are not very smart, what they would do? What they would do? You let me know. If they want to solve in terms of x and y only, let's just say they did not want to here to empty. Empty did not click to them. So what they would do? They would go to method 2. Sir, method 2 is saying that I want to solve in terms of x and y only. In terms of x and y only. So from where to where you are moving? You are moving from this point to this point. Z equals to 0 to Z equals to 1. Along which path? Along this path. So if you are moving along this path, you let me know in which direction are you moving. You are only moving in x direction. That means dx will be non-zero. But sir, I am not even moving in the y direction. So dy would be 0. X is actually going from 0 to 1. But what is the value of y? Y itself is 0 only. Because this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So you are moving from z equals to 0 to z equals to 1. That means you are moving from x equals to 0 to x equals to 1. Right? But your y is not even changing. So dy is 0. Along with that, y always is 0. Right? So what you are getting? Sir, I will get x moving from 0 to 1. This will be x cube. Y is always 0. Y is always 0. So this will become cos 0 will be 1. So this will become e to the power 2x plus e to the power 2x. Here y was always 0. So this was gone. Here cos 0 will be 1. So it will become e to the power 2x. Y is always 0. Y is always 0. And y is always 0. What about dz? What about dz? So dz is nothing but dx plus iota dy. What is the value of dy? Dy is 0. So what is dz? Dz is nothing but dx only. So what is dz? Dz is nothing but dx only. When you solve it, you will get the same answer. Z cube plus e to the power 2z dz. Here you are getting x cube plus e to the power 2x dx. What you will get? The same answer. X going from 0 to 1. Okay, so just simply put the answer. Simply put the values, you will get the same answer. So if someone wants to solve in terms of x and y, then he can solve in terms of x and y as well. But if someone is very smart, if he is fan of empty, then he will remember what empty said. Empty said if it is analytic, no, then leave it up to me. I will do everything. Now we will move to closed line integral. Okay, but let me take a break. After a break, we will move here. Okay, it's been already 80 minutes. So I will take a break. You tell me the answer of all these questions. You are calculating closed line integral cos z dot dz. This is your path. What is your path? Your path is a circle with the center at 0, 0. With the center at 0, 0. With the center at 0, 0 and the radius of 1. These points you already know. Okay. And let's just say you are moving anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise you are moving. Okay. Anti-clockwise means this is how you are moving. Anti-clockwise you are moving. Okay. This is your x. This is your y. Now you let me know what will be the answer of all these. This is entire function. This is also entire function. Now exponential to the power polynomial in z. Sinusoid entire. Cos hyperbolic entire to the entire in the entire another entire function. This is also always entire function. That means in the domain D. What is your domain D? This is my domain D. No, this is my domain D. In the domain D, the function is analytic. This is your domain D. In the domain D, function is always analytic. Right? And if the function is analytic and what you are calculating? Closed line integral. That means closed control integral you are calculating. Answer will be 0. What is the answer of this question now? Think about it and let me know. Is this 0 or it is not equal to 0? Think about it, let me know. I will take a break and then I will come back. Only you need to tell whether it is 0 or not 0. Okay. So I will take a break and then I will come back. Yeah, welcome back. So did you try this question? What you are supposed to find out? You are supposed to find out this closed line integral. What is your curve C? Your curve C is simply a circle with the radius of 1 and center at 0, 0. Right? So over this contour, they could have written it is the contour, the direction you need to take anti-clockwise. Okay, this would have been given in the question. The direction you need to take anti-clockwise. This would be given. Okay. So this is the contour that we are having. Okay, radius of 1 is there. Now someone would say that, sir, it is not analytic, right? It is not an entire function. It is not an entire function. Surely it is not an entire function. Why is that so? Because, sir, what is your f of z? Sir, my f of z is sec z. And what is the meaning of sec z? Sir, meaning of sec z is 1 by cos z. And I know that, sir, 1 by cos z, when your cos z is 0, it will create the problem. When your cos z would be 0? Sir, it would be 0 at plus minus pi by 2, plus minus 3 pi by 2. At all these points, it will create the problem. At all these points, it will be not analytic. Not analytic. But do you care about the function being not analytic everywhere? What I mean to say is that, do you care about function being analytic everywhere? No. What is our target? Our target is that function should be analytic in the domain, in this domain. That's it. In this domain D, my function should be analytic. This is my target. In this domain, my function should be analytic. So inside this, if my function is analytic, my job would be done. So is it analytic here? Can you let me know the points where it is not analytic? Yes, sir. The points where it is not analytic are plus minus pi by 2 means 1.57. 1.57 into 3, you can tell whatever the points you will be getting. Sir, those points will be lying here. Pi by 2 would be lying here. Minus pi by 2 would be lying here. Sir, 3 pi by 2 would be lying here. Minus 3 pi by 2 would be lying here. And all other points. But inside the domain, inside this domain, it is completely analytic. No, do you remember the derivation? Do you remember the very first page that we have seen? Hey, where is the very first page? Where is the very first page of this lecture? Yeah. What did I tell you? That it should be analytic in this domain D. F of z dot dz would throw the value to be equals to 0. It will throw the value would be equals to 0 if it is analytic in the domain D. What is domain D? Domain D is the region bounded by the closed contour C. Domain D is the region bounded by the closed contour C. What is domain D? Domain D is the region bounded by the closed contour C. So in the region bounded by the closed contour C, the function is completely analytic. The function is completely analytic. That means this particular integral will throw the value to be 0 only. Say yes or no. Is that understandable or not? Completely understandable, sir. This particular thing is completely understandable. Why it would throw 0? Because, sir, it is analytic in the region bounded by the domain, in the region bounded by the closed contour C. That means in domain D it is analytic. So there is no issue. So always find out the points where the function is not analytic. These are the points where the function is not analytic, and then see whether they are lying inside or outside. If they are lying outside, no issue. If they are lying inside, then what we need to do, that we will see with respect to this question. Again the same kind of question. Again the region is circle. Again your region is circle with the center 0, 0 and radius of 3. Right? This is your x, this is your y. Radius of 3, that means this point will be 3, 0. This point will be 3, 0. Right? And this point will be minus 3, 0. Okay. You talk about f of z. One time the encirclement is about anti-clockwise, other time the encirclement is about clockwise. So let's talk about f of z first. I1, I2 separately we need to calculate, that we will do, but let's talk about f of z first. What is your f of z? Sir, f of z is z upon z minus 1 into z plus 2 into z minus 4. So I know that, sir, it will not be analytic at 1, minus 2, 4. These are the points where it is not analytic. Now let me know where these points are lying. Z equals to 1 will be here. Z equals to minus 2 will be here. And Z equals to 4 will be here. This is your Z equals to 4. This is your Z equals to 1. And this is your Z equals to minus 2. That means, sir, these 2 points, Z equals to 1 and minus 2, they are lying inside. Lying in domain D. And Z equals to 4 is lying outside. That means it is not in domain D. So what you will say? That you are lying outside, bro. I don't have any problem with you. You are not making my function non-analytic in this domain. Although this is making the function non-analytic, but in the entire Z plane. But I only need to care about this particular domain. In this particular domain, you are not creating any problem. I don't have any problem with you. No problem. But you will go to these guys and you will say that, yes, you are making my function non-analytic, I have problem with you. I have that problem with you. This is what you will say. That yes, I have problem with you. Now you need to deal with this problem. How will you deal? You will find out their residue. Okay. This is where residue will be used. So residue at z equals to 1. Can you find it out? Yes, sir. Both are simple pole only. Residue at z equals to 1, sir. Very simple thing. R1 I can find out. Residue at z equals to 1. Sir, R1 I can find out. That would be, sir, limit z tending to 1. Whoever is creating the problem, remove that. Z minus 1 is creating the problem, remove that. Z upon z plus 2 into z minus 4. Z upon z plus 2 into z minus 4. Just simply put 1 here. So 1 by 3 minus 1 by 9. This is what you are getting, right? If I put 1 here, so 1, 3 and minus 3. So what is the answer? Minus 1 by 9 is the answer that you are getting. And for the next one, residue at z equals to minus 2. Residue at z equals to minus 2. So what you will do? Limit z tending to minus 2. Whoever is creating the problem, remove that guy. Z plus 2 is creating the problem, remove that guy, and what you are left with? Z minus 1 into z minus 4. Z minus 1 into z minus 4. So what you need to put? Minus 2 upon minus 3 minus 6. 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9. So luckily here as well answer will come out to be 0 only. Okay, if you put minus 2 here, what you are getting? Minus 2 divided by, this will become minus 3 and this will become minus 6. So minus, okay, it is coming out to be minus 1 by 9. Sorry guys. If I put minus 2, z equals to minus 2, I need to put minus 2 into minus 1, minus 3, minus 6. So 2 by 18 with the negative sign outside. So it is minus 1 by 9. Yes. What you are getting? Minus 1 by 9. So sir, I went to this function f of z. If it was analytic, no, then answer would have been 0. But sir, it is not analytic at 2 points inside the domain D. So sir, I find out their residues, then I need to find out the sum of their residues. What is the sum I am getting? The sir, sum you are getting is minus 2 by 9. So what is the first question? First question is encirclement is anti-clockwise. Encirclement is anti-clockwise. So if the encirclement is anti-clockwise, then the answer of integral I, which is fz dot dz over the contour C, that would be equals to 2 pi iota summation r. So what will be the answer? 2 pi iota, what is summation r? Minus 2 by 9. That's it. Job done. Minus 4 pi iota divided by 9. This is the answer. Minus 4 pi iota divided by 9. And if the encirclement is clockwise, then the answer of fz dot dz over the closed contour C would be equals to minus 2 pi I summation of residues. So what is the answer? Minus 2 pi I. What is the summation of residues? That is minus 2 by 9. So answer is 4 pi iota divided by 9. That's it. Is there anything tough? Only factor that you need to remember is 2 pi iota. That's it. So very simple process, sir. Fz dot dz closed contour C, they are asking. If fz is analytic over the domain D, answer is 0. If I need to write down the conclusion, what I will say, sir, conclusion is that if they are asking closed line integral, closed contour integral fz dot dz, the answer would be 0 if fz is analytic in the region bounded by closed contour C. It would be equals to 2 pi iota summation of r. If encirclement is anticlockwise, first thing is that encirclement is anticlockwise, fz is not analytic everywhere, not analytic. And what is the meaning of this? Region bounded by closed contour C, that means domain D. Okay, in the domain D. So fz is not analytic in domain D. And what is summation r? Summation r is sum of all residues, all residues, or what I should say, of fz at all the singularities inside or in domain D, in the domain D, in the domain D. Can you read the statement? Sum of all the residues of f of z at all the singularities in the domain D. Whatever the singularity is there in the domain D, at these points you need to find out the residues, take the sum and multiply it with 2 pi iota, your job is done. And what will be the scenario if the encirclement is clockwise? If the encirclement is clockwise, then this will be the scenario. Encirclement is clockwise, then simply you need to multiply with the negative sign and your job would be done. That's it. This is the conclusion. Usually people directly remember it, but we derived this one. And after that, sir, how this expression came, that derivation I am not giving you. No one will give you this derivation in the engineering as well. Okay, it is not required for your examination. Not at all, anywhere it will be used. You just remember the process. Okay, 2 pi iota summation r, 2 pi iota summation r, positive sign here, negative sign here. What is summation r? Sum of all the residues. Chapter ends here. Okay, although questions we will see, the lecture will be a bit, it will take a bit more time, but everything, all the concepts we have seen already. Okay, पंखा चलाना पड़ेगा यार शायद थोड़ा सा. I will have to turn on the fan. So let me pause the video. You can read this statement. Cauchy residue theorem. It is known as Cauchy residue theorem. What is the theorem? Fz be analytic on and inside a simple closed contour C, except at a finite number of isolated singularities which are Z1, Z2, Zn lying inside the C. That means this is your closed contour C. This is your closed contour C. Let's just say encirclement is this one, and it is not analytic at Z1, Z2, Z3 and Zn. Then what will be the answer? Sir, 2 pi iota summation residue f z comma k. What is the meaning of residue f z comma k? Residue f comma z k. What is the meaning of this? What is zk? Zk, let's just say z1. So it is residue of fz, residue of f at z equals to z1. This is the meaning. That means it is simply the sum of all the residues. What this is representing? This is representing what this is representing. Sum of all residues of f at all singularities in domain D. In domain D. So at all the points, whatever the residues that you are getting, you need to add them up and multiply with 2 pi iota. If the encirclement is anti-clockwise, if it is clockwise, then multiply with minus 2 pi iota. That's it. Okay. Solve this question on your own. Very easily you will be able to solve. Complex plane is there, mod of z equals to 3. You need to find out this particular thing. Very easily you should be able to solve it. If you are not able to solve it, then there is a problem, because then it would be like we are just wasting our time. Mod of z equals to 3. What kind of circle it would be? This kind of circle. What kind of circle it would be? This kind of circle it would be. You already know the boundaries. Although you don't even need to make the circle, right? I told you how to find out whether the point is lying inside or outside. What is your f of z? Sir, f of z is nothing but sine pi z upon z square z minus 2. Sir, both are analytic separately. So where I will have the problem, sir? When the denominator goes to 0. When the denominator goes to 0, at that time I will have the problem, sir. So what is the value of z we are getting? 0, 0, 2. These are the values that we are getting. All the points will be lying inside the circle. No, because what is the equation of circle? Mod of z equals to 3. What did I tell you? That put all these points here, put the points here, and if it is mod of z is coming out to be greater than 3, then outside, right? And if mod of z is coming less than 3, then inside. Someone would say that, sir, I directly know that all of them will be lying inside. Yes, I know. It is very simple that all of them will be lying inside, but I am telling you the method. Without even thinking anything, how you can tell the answer. Sir, mod of z 0 would be less than 3, 0 would be less than 3, 2 would be less than 3. That means all of them are lying inside. Z equals to 0, 0, 2. All of them are lying inside. If all of them are lying inside, what I need to find out? I need to find out the residues. What kind of singularity it is? It is multiple pole, and the other one is single pole, right? Can you find out residue at this is your residue at z equals to 2, residue at z equals to 2. What will be the answer for this? So limit z tending to 2. Whoever is creating the problem, remove that. What answer you will be getting? Sin pi z divided by z square. If you put z tending z equals to 2 here, what it will become? Upper side will become sin 2 pi divided by 4. What is the value of sin 2 pi? That is 0, no? So upper side will become sin 2 pi. Don't ignore this factor, pi z. Sin 2 pi divided by 4. What is the value of sin 2 pi? That is 0. So what is the value of R1? R1 is coming out to be 0. R1 is coming out to be 0. Now what about R2? R2 is the multiple pole. R2 is the multiple pole. So how will you find out the residue for a multiple pole? Limit z tending to 0. Limit z tending to 0. Sir, since it is repeating twice, I will have to divide by 1 factorial. Then I will have to differentiate once. And what I am differentiating? Remove z square, you will be getting pi sin pi z divided by z minus 2. Sin pi z divided by z minus 2. Is that it? Yes, sir. Function with z square being removed, differentiate it once and divide by 1 factorial. So differentiation of this. What will be the differentiation of this? So limit z tending to 0. 1 by 1 factorial will be 1 only. We simply need to differentiate. So it is u by v. So z minus 2 whole square, then z minus 2 as it is. Differentiation of sinusoid will be cosinusoid with pi going outside minus sin pi z, and differentiation of z minus 2 will be 1. Now put z tending to 0 here. What you will be getting? Yes, you will get a finite answer. Answer would be pi minus 2 cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0 divided by 4. So what is the answer? Minus pi by 2. So R2 is minus pi by 2. So what is your summation R? Summation R is minus pi by 2 only. Minus pi by 2 plus 0. Minus pi by 2 plus 0. So what is summation R? Summation R is minus pi by 2. So what will be your answer? You see the encirclement now. Encirclement. It is not even given. Encirclement is not even given. Let z be a complex variable. If f of z equals to sin pi z upon z square z minus 2, and c is a circle. By default take anti-clockwise, okay? By default take anti-clockwise, although it should have been given. No, this is a blunder. This question is having a problem, right? Encirclement they did not even give. So they should have given it. Okay. So what will be your answer of integral I? Fz dot dz. What that would be? 2 pi iota into summation r, which is minus pi by 2. So what answer you are getting? Minus pi square iota. Minus pi square iota, right? 2 pi iota into minus pi by 2. So answer would be minus pi square iota. Okay. So I will click on option D, but again I will read the question, and C is the circle in the complex plane with mode of z equals to 3. Then yeah, it is not complete. Okay. It should have been a complete question. Encirclement they should have talked about. It should be anti-clockwise, should be given. They did not give it, because then answer would have been A, no? If it is clockwise. If it is clockwise, then it would have been A. Although by default we always take anti-clockwise, but nothing by default. When you are writing gate examination, it is not a PSU examination, right? It is not state level examination. It is all India level examination. When you are writing all India level examination, this kind of thing should not happen, right? Yes. So along with that, you have framed the option as well, no? Minus pi square j plus pi square j. So encirclement should have been mentioned, which they forgot actually. So yes, answer I am marking minus pi square j, but it could be plus pi square j as well. Try this one on your own. Okay. Let me take a break. I will turn on the fan and then we will solve it. You try this one on your own. You should be able to solve it. You find out the points where there will be a problem. You know that, sir, this is polynomial, this is also polynomial. Separately, they will be always analytic, right? But this guy will create any problem. Because why is that so? Because it is in the denominator. So what all are the points where the problems will be created? So that would be z square plus 2z plus 2 equals to 0. That means 2 points I will be getting, sir. Minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So what is the answer? Minus 2 plus minus 2j divided by 2. So answer is minus 1 plus j and minus 1 minus j. Understandable? Right? Yes. So these two are the points. Now, which of the point is lying inside, which of the point is lying outside? Will you make any circle or anything like that? No. I told you one thing. No. What is the equation? What is your region? What is your contour C? Sir, our contour C is a circle only. Our contour C is a circle only. This is our contour C, which is a circle only. Circle of, it is a circle of center. What is the center? Center will be minus 1 comma 3 by 2 and the radius of 1. But do I need to make the circle and anything like that? No. What did I tell you? That you take this scenario. What is this? Z plus 1 minus 3 pi by minus 3 by 2 j. If it is coming out to be greater than 1, that means outside. If it is coming out to be, how should I write it down? If it is coming out to be greater than 1, that means outside. And if it is coming out to be less than 1, that means inside. That means inside. Okay. So let's check at the point minus 1 comma j. So minus 1 plus j minus 3 by 2j. What is the magnitude you are getting? It will be minus 1 minus 1 by 2j. What that would be? It would be having a magnitude of 1 square plus 1 by 4. That will be surely greater than 1. So it is outside. Say yes or no. I simply put this point minus 1 plus j here. Sorry guys. Minus 1 plus j I put. No. Minus 1 plus j I put. Then plus 1 is also there. In place of z I need to put minus 1 plus j. Then plus 1 is also there. Minus 3 by 2j. Right. So minus minus is getting cancelled out. So this is coming out to be minus 1 by 2j. And what is the magnitude of minus 1 by 2j? That will be 1 by 2 only. Which is less than 1. That means yes, it is inside. This particular point is inside. This particular point is inside. What about the other point? It came for 1 mark actually. It should be of 2 marks. Okay, so this particular point is inside. What about the other point? Other point is minus 1 minus j. Minus 1 minus j. Then plus 1 minus 3 by 2j. So what you are getting? 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled out. Minus 5 by 2j. What is the answer you are getting? 5 by 2, which is greater than 1. What does that mean? This is lying outside. So only one point is there which is lying inside, which is this point. So what you need to find out, both are simple pole only. You need to find out the residue at z equals to minus 1 plus j. Residue at z equals to minus 1 plus j. And this is your, what is this point? This point is a simple pole, right? It is a simple pole. So for simple pole, sir, we have a formula. What formula we have? Sir, residue would be limit z tending to minus 1 plus j, limit z tending to minus 1 plus j, numerator as it is, z plus 2 as it is, divided by the denominator. What is the denominator? Divided by the differentiation of the denominator. What is the differentiation? That is 2z plus 4. That is 2z plus 4. So directly I can notice here, sir, it will come out to be 1 by 2. टू जेड प्लस टू सॉरी गाइस क्या भाई यार people might be thinking sir आपकी रैंक कैसे आई how did you get the rank what is the differentiation upper numerator as it is that is z plus 2 what is the differentiation of denominator 2z plus 2 differentiation of denominator 2z plus 2 okay people always ask me that sir why don't you write down gate examination again right now I am a teacher no so what if I write down the gate examination again and I get AR1 this is the question a lot of people would ask tell me as well that you write down gate examination again and get AIR1 and your reach will be increased people will know you nowadays this is the process no that you write down the examination and people will start knowing you do you really think I will be able to get AIR1 with this knowledge is fine I guess but with this kind of calculation do you really think I will be able to get AIR1 yes I will be able to get but I need to give 2 months of preparation that means 2 months I will not come on YouTube I will not be seen anywhere I will just put up my level best here I will prepare for 2 months that means I will have to solve a lot of problems so I will get my problem solving skills in a better manner as of now I am a teacher I don't need to improve my problem solving skills right I don't need to improve my calculations as well my job is to give you the problem solving technique that how to solve a particular problem and to give you the concept this is my job right not to like I don't need to improve this thing that why I wrote down 2z plus 4 here that thing I don't need to improve but that will be improved with the practice. People also say that, sir, I do a lot of calculation mistake. You do a calculation mistake because you don't have practice. The more you practice, the less calculation mistake you will do. Okay, so it all depends on the practice. So this is my answer to everyone. Do you really think that I will be able to get AIR1 if I don't prepare? After preparation, yes, I may get, but without preparation, blindly if I go to the examination hall and think that I will get AIR1, that will be foolish. Actually, no one can get it. People might be claiming that, sir, I did not even prepare, I got AIR1, but that is never possible. You need to prepare, then only you can get AIR1. Okay. So what is the answer we are getting here? 1 by j divided by 2j would be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2j, right? So it is coming out to be 1 minus j divided by 2. Look, here I did not do the rationalization. You can do the rationalization as well, but it is pretty simple, no? J divided by j would be 1. So 1 by 2j would be minus j by 2. So 1 minus j by 2. So what is the answer? So your integral would be nothing but encirclement given, counterclockwise given, right? Counterclockwise. So 2 pi iota. Only one residue is there because this is lying outside only. I don't need to care about it. So only one residue is there. That is 1 minus j divided by 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled out. Pi iota into 1 minus iota. So they have written pi outside. So let's take this I inside. So it will become I minus I square. Right? So it will become pi into 1 plus iota. This is the answer that we are getting. Pi into 1 plus iota, option B. Understandable? So this is the way we are solving it. So simply you just put the value minus 1 plus j, minus 1 plus j. This was lying inside. I just put it here, and then I could see that, sir, j plus 1 minus 2, 2j plus 2. So that is getting cancelled out. 2j, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2j, 1 minus j divided by 2. Then I put 1 minus j divided by 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled out. Pi iota into 1 minus j. So iota goes inside. This will become iota square, that is minus 1. So 1 plus iota is the answer that we are getting. This is iota only, and this is becoming minus 1. So it will become plus 1. So 1 plus iota. Pi into 1 plus iota. This is option B. Okay. I did not take a break. Let me take a break then. 2 question, 3 question, and then 4 question, 5 question. Okay. So I will take a break, turn on the fan, and then I will come back. We will solve these 5 questions and more questions also we will solve. Okay. After these 5 questions, more questions are also there. More 5 questions are also there. Those we will solve, and our chapter will be completed. So you try doing it on your own. You can surely do it. Every question you can do it. This question also you can do it. This x is a complex variable here. Okay. This also you try doing it. This is a good question, but just think about it. Encirclement you see. Encirclement you see. Okay. Just think about it. You will be able to do it. Okay. So I will come back after a break. Yeah, welcome back. So were you able to solve this question? What was the answer? Answer is 0.5. Okay. Yeah. As far as I remember, it is 0.5 only. I don't know. Yeah, 0.5 only. Yeah, let's get started. So, sir, f of z, 2 to the power z, that will be entire function. Z square minus 1 polynomial in z, entire function. So, who will create the problem? Denominator being 0 will create the problem. So, where you will have the problem? When z square minus 1 equals to 0, that means you will have the problem at z equals to 1 and minus 1. Both are simple pole only. Both are simple pole. But z equals to 1 will be lying here and z equals to minus 1 will be lying here. That means this will be acceptable. This will be acceptable. This is of no use. That means you need to find out the residue at z equals to minus 1. Residue at z equals to minus 1. At z equals to minus 1. So what will be the answer? Sir, we know that residue at z equals to minus 1 will be nothing but limit z tending to minus 1. We can make a function phi z which will be numerator as it is. Numerator as it is 2 to the power z. Numerator as it is divided by the differentiation of denominator. Now simply put z equals to minus 1. What you will be getting? 2 to the power minus 1. Here 2 into minus 1, which will come out to be minus 1 by 4. So residue is coming out to be minus 1 by 4. So encirclement they have given. Yes, they have shown in the diagram. No, in the diagram they have shown the encirclement anti-clockwise. Encirclement is anti-clockwise. So what will be the answer? 2 pi I sum of residues, that would be minus 1 by 4. So answer is coming out to be minus pi I by 2. So if you compare here, value of A is coming out to be 1 by 2. This is the answer that we are getting. Very simple question. If these kind of questions you are not able to solve, then I'm not sure what we are doing. Okay, these should be solved within seconds. In 50 seconds, this question should be solved. Let's go to the next one. Here x is a complex variable. No, x minus iota mod of x minus iota equals to 2 is given. So you can understand x itself is a complex variable here. So we are not much comfortable with x. So what I will write down? I will write down this integration as sin z upon z square plus 4 dz. Okay, because we are already comfortable with z only, right? So sir, sin z analytic, z square into z square plus 1 analytic, that means who will create the problem? Denominator being 0 will create the problem. So z equals to 0, comma z equals to 0, z equals to 2 iota, z equals to minus 2 iota. These are your poles. Say yes or no? Z equals to 0, z equals to 0. From here, z equals to plus 2 iota and z equals to minus 2 iota. So these are your simple pole. This is your multiple pole. But let's see which are lying inside, which are lying outside. So what is our equation? Z minus iota equals to 2. So let's check at z equals to 0. Z equals to 0. So z equals to 0 if I put, so 0 minus iota, 0 minus iota, that would be equals to mod of minus iota, that would be equals to 1, which is less than 2. That means it is lying inside. What about z equals to 2 iota? So sir, z equals to 2 iota, 2 iota minus iota, that would be equals to iota, that is 1, which is less than 2. So it is also lying inside. What about z equals to minus 2 iota? So if I put z equals to minus 2 iota, so here what I will get? Minus 2 iota minus iota, that will become minus 3 iota, which is equals to 3, which is greater than 2, which is lying outside. So these guys are lying inside. They are inside. Okay. So what we need to do? We need to find out the residues. Okay. So our target is to finding out the residue. So let's find out the residue at z equals to 0. So sir, it is a multiple pole. What I will do? Limit z tending to 0. Sir, since it is occurring twice, I will have to divide with 1 factorial and then I will have to differentiate. Differentiate what? Remove the problem. Who is problem? Z square is the problem. So sin z divided by z square plus 4. This is what I am supposed to differentiate, and then I need to put z tending to 0. So limit z tending to 0. I am supposed to differentiate this function. What value I will be getting? Z square plus 4 whole square. Z square plus 4. Differentiation of sin z will be cos z minus different sin z as it is into 2z. Okay. So what answer you are getting? 1 by 4 I will be getting. If I put z tending to 0 here, so it will become 4 into 1 minus 0 divided by 4 square. Right. So answer is coming out to be 1 by 4. So residue R1 is coming out to be 1 by 4. Okay. So what about at 2 iota? So I need to find out the residue at 2 iota. Residue at z equals to 2 iota. Sir, it is a simple pole. What it is? It is a simple pole. So, sir, for simple pole we have a method. What method we have? Sir, residue would come out to be limit z tending to 2 iota, numerator as it is. Numerator as it is. What is denominator? Denominator is z to the power 4 plus 4z square. Z to the power 4 plus 4z square. So it is z to the power 4. Your denominator is z to the power 4 plus 4z square. So you need to differentiate it. So what answer you will be getting? 4z cube plus 8z. Say yes or no? 4z cube plus 8z. Now in place of it you need to put 2 iota. So sin 2 iota divided by 4 into 2 iota cube plus 8 into 2 iota. Right? Sin 2 iota divided by this is coming out to be minus 16 iota. Is that understandable to you? Otherwise you could have done in this manner. Sin 2z upon z square as it is. Z square plus 4 could be written as z plus 2 iota and z minus 2 iota. Right? You need to find out at 2 iota. No? So this will create a problem. Remove that. Now put 2 iota. So what you will get? Upper side it is sin 2z or sin z. Okay, it is sin z only. So what you will get? Sin 2 iota upon what is 2 iota square? 2 iota square will be minus 4 and it will become 4 iota. So similar answer you will be getting sin 2 iota upon minus 16 iota. Similar answer you are getting, right? So this is the residue. What is the sum of residue now? Sum of residue is coming out to be sum of residue is coming out to be, it is a gate PYQ. Okay, it is a gate PYQ. Gate PYQ. It is of 2 marks. You are right. You are solving this question in the examination hall. So this is how you will be solving. You know. So sum of residue. Your sum of residue is coming out to be 1 by 4 minus sin 2 iota divided by 16 iota. Right. divided by 16 iota. Then you would know that, sir, my answer would come out to be fz dot dz. Sir, and circumference is given counterclockwise. Sir, answer will come out to be 2 pi iota 1 by 4 minus sine 2 iota divided by 16 iota. This will be your answer. Now let's just say, now what you will do, you will check the options are not matching. Let's just say this is the first question of your examination. First question of your examination. When you solve this question, at least it would take 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, because it is not very straightforward. Not z equals to 0, 0, 2 iota, you need to check, then you will find out the residue at z equals to 0, then you will check at 2 iota. So at least it would take 3 to 4 minutes for sure. Then you will again check your calculations, sir, why options are not matching. Again and again you will keep on checking. And you will lose your confidence there. Let's just say it is the first question, then your most of the examination is matched up already. If it is first question, it was MTA given by the IITs. Okay, no option correct here. No option correct. No option correct. Look, someone would be saying that, sir, why you put these kind of question when no option is correct? Deliberately I am putting these kind of questions here just to give you the approach of examination. When the IITs are setting up the question paper, no, they don't care much about the GATE examination. You always remember it. IITs care about JEE Advance. They don't care about GATE examination. If they cared, no, then this kind of error would never happen. Do you ever see these kind of errors happening in JEE Advance examination? Never ever. But this is a straightforward question. Even a college going student who did not prepare for GATE examination, who has just studied on surface level, he will be able to solve this question. Z equals to 0, 0, 2 iota, minus 2 iota. Minus 2 iota lying inside, these three are lying inside, minus 2 iota is lying outside. Find out the residue, and this is how you will be solving it. Straightforward question. Although straightforward, but calculation is a bit complex here. He will solve it, and this answer he will be getting, and in the examination he will be struggling there. He will be thinking, he will be doubting that what wrong he is doing. So this is just a message for you guys that these kind of things may happen in the examination hall. Believe in yourself that whatever that you have done, that is correct. IITs might have framed the question in a wrong manner. If I was the student, okay, if I was the student in the examination hall, what I would have done? I would have seen here, sir, this is the answer I am getting. Then I would have rechecked. Okay, let's recheck it. Nothing wrong. Then what answer I would have marked? What I would have done is that I would ignore this 1 by 4, because in the options I am getting a feel, no, that yes, sine 2 iota is coming. That means this particular factor is coming. That means it might happen that they would have ignored this. Basically, they would have forgot this. So 2 pi iota into sine 2 iota upon 16 iota, and there is a negative sign as well. Negative sign as well. So iota getting cancelled out. Pi by 8 sine 2 iota minus sign. So minus pi by 8 sine 2 iota. This I would have clicked on, but actually this is also wrong. But this is something that I would have clicked on. Although this is wrong because there is no option matching. But this is something I would have clicked on. But again, it is a shame. I will call it shame only, that it is a shame that these kind of errors are happening in the question paper, and it is a recent year question. Such errors are happening even nowadays as well. Till this date, these kind of errors are happening in the question paper. I have been in this field for last 6 to 7 years. I have never seen EC electrical or instrumentation question paper coming 100% correct. Never it is 100% correct. Always there are some errors. 65 questions they need to frame in 1 year, and they mess it up. We conduct 5 all India mock tests, and so many tests we conduct, and you try finding out one error in those tests. One error. Even if you can give me the error of comma and full stop as well, no, then I will tell. So, and the level of questions as well we frame on a higher side. If you frame a question on a higher side, then the question would become tougher, right? And if the question is becoming tougher, then there are higher chance of calculation error. Not calculation error, there are high chance of question being wrong as well. Like if I ask you 2 plus 2, this question will never be wrong, because this is a very straightforward question, 2 plus 2. But if I ask you 2 into 7 divided by 4 minus 3 divided by 37, here there are chances, no, that this question might be wrong. Question might be wrong, not the solution. I am asking about question. It might happen that I will be able to frame wrong question. So when you frame a good level of question paper, then there are chances that there would be wrong questions framed. But even the simple questions, if you are messing up, then there is a problem. I cannot say anything else, but it is what it is. Okay, then let's go to the next question. This one is a good question. So contour C given in the complex plane x plus iota jy, you need to find out the value of this integral. Okay, so can I break it in this manner? This is your curve C, no, this is your curve C. The curve C goes like this. The curve C goes like this. This is your curve C. So can I break it like this? I will solve two questions. I will solve two questions. One question I will solve considering that this is my region of operation. That only this is my region of operation. Only this is my region of operation with -1 here, and I will call this curve as C1. So what I will find out? I will find out integral I1. What will be my integral I1? So integral I1 would be 1 by pi j, 1 by pi j, closed line integral dz upon z square minus 1. This I will solve, and then what I will do is that I will make another closed line and I will solve this integral, where this is your point 1, and I will call this as C2, and I will solve another integral I2, which will be 1 by pi j C2 dz upon z square minus 1. And then my final answer will be I will be equals to I1 plus I2. That would be the final answer. Is that clear or not? Is there any problem? Absolutely not, sir. You solve this one and get the answer. Where will be the problem? Sir, problem will be at z equals to +1 and -1, right? Say yes or no? +1 and -1 because z square minus 1 equals to 0. Z square minus 1 equals to 0. This will create the problem. So z equals to 1 and -1 will be the problem. So if I solve this I1, then what will happen? If I solve this I1, then z equals to -1, z equals to +1 will not be a problem for me. What I mean to say is that if I am finding I1, for I1, what is my region of operation? This is my region of operation, no? Where -1 is included. And this is your curve C1. This is your curve C1. So first of all, you let me know, encirclement is clockwise or anti-clockwise? It is clockwise. So what will be the answer? Sir, -2 pi iota summation r. Now summation r I am supposed to find out. Where are the problems? Singular points are at 1, -1. So let me know, is this a problem for me? No, 1 will be lying here. Z equals to 1 will be this, and z equals to -1 will be this. So I will only have the problem at z equals to -1, not at z equals to 1. So only z equals to -1. So I only need to find out the residue at z equals to -1. Residue at z equals to -1. And what that would be? So that would be nothing but limit z tending to -1, numerator as it is, divided by the differentiator, divided by the differentiation of denominator, that is 2z, z tending to -1, answer will be -1/2. So answer will be -1/2. So here what answer you will be getting? Sir, I1 will come out to be -2 pi iota -1/2. So answer will be pi iota. Okay. Again, they are dividing with 1 by pi iota as well. So don't forget that. Here, what is your I1? This I have find out, that is 2. This I have find out, that is pi iota. A simple thing, no. This they are dividing this particular answer we have find out. This particular answer we have find out. This particular answer is coming out to be pi iota. So pi iota divided by pi iota. So actual value of I1 is 1. Say yes or no? So this was not I1. Let's just call it I1 dash. I1 dash. So what is your I1? I1 is 1 by pi iota into I1 dash. So what is the answer? Pi iota, answer will be 1. So value of I1 is coming out to be 1. So value of I1 is coming out to be 1. I hope it is very simple for you. I hope it is completely understandable to you. What about I2 dash now? I will find out I2 dash now. What will be the answer? 2 pi iota summation r. What is the encirclement? You see the encirclement. If you make the region, what is the encirclement? Encirclement is, sir, anti-clockwise. Encirclement is anti-clockwise. Here z equals to 1 is there, right? This is your z equals to 1. So z equals to 1 and z equals to -1. Here is your z equals to -1. So who is the problem? Only this guy is the problem. This guy is not a problem, right? Only z equals to 1 is the problem. So only z equals to 1 is the problem. That means you are supposed to find out the residue at z equals to 1. So limit z tending to 1, 1 by 2z, that would be 1 by 2. I2 dash would be 2 pi iota into 1 by 2. Answer will be pi iota. Okay, so I2 dash is pi iota. So what will be the value of I2? Value of I2 will be 1 by pi iota I2 dash. So answer will be 1. So value of I2 is coming out to be 1 only. So what is the total answer? Total answer I is nothing but 1 plus 1, that is 2. So answer is 2. That's the answer that we are getting. Understandable? So we broke down the region into two parts. Okay, we broke down the region into two parts. So when you are clockwise, so in the clockwise orientation there is -1 that is being included, and when the orientation is anti-clockwise there is only 1 that is being included. So residue at z equals to -1 was coming out to be -1/2. At z equals to 1, residue at z equals to 1 is coming out to be 1/2. This is your residue at z equals to 1. Residue at z equals to 1. But are you simply going to add them 1/2 -1/2? No. One encirclement is anti-clockwise, other one is clockwise. So this was for anti-clockwise and this was for clockwise. So eventually the answer is coming out to be 2 here. Okay. So anti-clockwise -2 pi iota into -1/2, that would be pi iota, and here also pi iota. Pi iota plus pi iota will become 2 pi iota divided by pi iota. Answer is 2. Understandable? This was a good question. Here we need to break it into two parts. So region we have broken into two parts. One part aside, one part aside. Separately we solved them and got the answer. Let's go to the next question. Value of I we are supposed to find out. Okay. So where are the problems? Problem are there at, sir, this is analytic, this is also analytic, and denominator is also analytic. So problem will be there at z square plus 1 equals to 0. That means z equals to iota and minus iota. Say yes or no. Z being iota and z being minus iota, they will create the problem. Okay. Now mode of z equals to 3, this is the region. So if mode of iota that is equals to 1, which is less than 3, and mode of minus iota which is equals to 1, which is less than 3. What does that mean? Both of the points are lying inside. That means you are supposed to find out the residues at z equals to iota as well and z equals to minus iota as well. So residue at z equals to iota, what that would be? So that would be R1 limit z tending to iota, z square minus 1 dot Ez divided by 2z. So iota square minus 1 e to the power iota divided with 2 iota. So what is the answer? Iota e to the power iota. This is what we are getting. Okay, because it is becoming minus 1, iota square is -1 minus 2 divided by 2, so it is -1 by iota, and iota goes upward, so it is becoming iota e to the power iota. Residue at z equals to minus iota, what that would be? Limit z tending to minus iota, limit z tending to minus iota, z square minus 1 e to the power z 2z. So here if you put a minus iota, then it will become iota square minus 1 e to the power minus iota divided by minus 2 iota. So answer is, this will become -2, so minus iota goes upward, e to the power minus iota. This is the scenario that you are getting. So what will be your sum of residues? So sum of residues will be iota, iota, minus iota, e to the power minus iota. So what will be your answer? Sir, answer will be, integral will be 2 pi iota, iota e to the power iota minus iota e to the power minus iota. That's the answer that you will be getting. Right? Say yes or no. Now what you do is that you take iota outside, iota you take outside. So answer will become -2 pi, because iota into iota will become iota square is -1, so -2 pi outside, e to the power iota minus e to the power minus iota divided by 2 iota and multiply with 2 iota. So what is the answer you are getting? So -2 pi into 2 iota, that will become -4 pi iota. And what is this? This is nothing but sine. This particular thing is nothing but sine 1. Sine 1. Because what is sine theta? Sine theta is nothing but e to the power iota theta minus e to the power minus iota theta divided by 2j. So what will be sine 1? Sine 1 will be e to the power iota minus e to the power minus iota divided by 2j. So the same thing we are getting. So it is sine 1. So this is the answer that we are getting. There you go. Look, there was nothing tough in this problem. You just need to deal with iota in a good manner. Nothing else. With patience you deal with iota. Upper side as it is differentiation of the denominator. Put iota here. Iota square minus 1 e to the power iota. So -2, then it goes upward, iota e to the power iota, this will become minus iota e to the power minus iota. At z equals to minus iota, what will happen? The same kind of thing is there, just in place of iota, you replace minus iota. This is the residue that you are getting. Add both of them, this is the answer that you have. Iota you take outside, it will become -2 pi, because iota square will become 1. Now this is e to the power iota minus e to the power minus iota. If I divide by 2 iota and multiply by 2 iota, this will become sine 1, and this will be minus 4 pi iota sine 1. That's the answer. Only mathematics is there, nothing else. Just mathematics. The concept is very simple, very straightforward as well. Understandable? Let's go to the next question. This was asked in GATE 195. It is a good question, I would say. Three options we have already studied. E to the power z is the entire function, right? It is the entire function. That means it will be equal to 0. This is also entire function. This is also entire function, no? That means everywhere it will be analytic. If it is analytic, that will be 0. What about this guy, sir? Sec z dot dz. It will also come out to be 0 if your mode of z is less than 1. Or you can say if your contour is unity circle. Contour is unity circle, no? What is your contour here? Contour is unity circle. This is the contour that you are having. So where will be the singular points? So singular points will be at plus minus pi by 2, plus minus 3 pi by 2, and all these points will be lying outside. Lying outside. Have we seen this or not? Say yes or no. Yes, sir. Complete question we have seen here. No. So just refer to this explanation. The same question we have seen. Ditto same question. All the singular points will be lying outside. Now we need to discuss z to the power n. Right? What we need to discuss? Z to the power n dot dz. That means which options are wrong? This option will also be wrong, and this option will also be wrong. Why is that so? Because they will be actually equals to 0. Now I need to discuss z to the power n dz. Z to the power n dz, where n is an even integer. So let's take an example of. Let's take first example. I need to calculate this integral z to the power 2 dz. Okay, this is what I am supposed to calculate. N is an even integer. Even integer. This will be 0 only. This will be equals to 0, no? Say yes or no. This will be equals to 0. Why is that so? Because it is entire function, no? It is polynomial of z. Polynomial in z. So it will be equals to 0. So what I am saying is that z to the power n dz would be equals to 0 if n is any integer, any positive integer. Say yes or no. Any positive integer. Say yes or no. If I put z to the power 1 entire function, z to the power 2 entire function, z to the power 3 entire function, sir, root z entire function. No, it is not polynomial in z. What is the condition of polynomial? Again and again I am saying polynomial means there has to be integer power of z. Integer power of z. So it is not a polynomial in z, it is not an entire function. But sir, if the power is any positive integer, then answer would be equals to 0 only. Sir, what about negative integers? Now let's see the case of negative integer. What about negative integers? What about negative integers? What about negative integers? So if I take n equals to minus 1, although in the examination they have asked only even integers, no? Only even integers they are talking about. Here any positive integer, whether it is odd or even, both will work. Odd or even, both will work. Everything will work here. Odd or even, both will work. But in the examination they ask something else, but we are solving something else now. So n equals to minus 1. If I put n equals to minus 1, what integral I will be getting? Sir, integral would be over the closed control C, n equals to minus 1, that would be 1 by z dot dz. This is what I will be getting. Now I know that, sir, it will create a problem at z equals to 0. And what kind of pole it is? Sir, it is single pole. Sir, since it is single pole, no sir. Since it is single pole, sir. So sir, single pole, I can find out the residue. That will come out to be limit z tending to 0, z f of z. That would be, sir, limit z tending to 0, z f of z is 1 by z. So what is the residue? Residue is coming out to be 1. So what is the answer for this? Sir, answer for this would be 2 pi iota into 1. That means answer will be 2 pi iota, which is not equal to 0. So when n is equal to minus 1, then we are not getting the answer to be 0. Now when n is minus 2, and n is minus 2, then what we will get? When n is minus 2, 1 by z square dot dz. What will be the answer, sir? Answer will be, sir, 2 pi iota sum of residues. and here there is only one residue, no? So instead of writing sum of residue, I am directly writing R. Where is the problem? So problem will be at z equals to 0, 0. The problem will be at, sir, z equals to 0, 0, which is a multiple pole. Which is a multiple pole. Now for finding residue, what we need to do? Sir, limit z tending to 0. Limit z tending to 0. 1 by 1 factorial. Why is that? Why 1 by 1 factorial? Because, sir, I will have to differentiate one time. Because it is multiple pole, no? Repeated twice. D by dz. Z square into f of z, right? D by dz. Or you can simply say that whoever is the problem, remove that. What answer you will be getting? Simply I can see that, sir, answer will come out to be 0 only, no? 1 by 1 factorial. Z square into f of z, that would be 1 only. So d by dz of 1. D by dz of 1. So what is the answer you are getting? 0 answer you are getting. Are you able to understand this point? So here residue is coming out to be 0. So what is the answer? Answer is coming out to be 0. So for n equals to -2, the integral is coming out to be 0. I hope you are able to see it. Now think of n equals to -3. N equals to -3, what will happen? If n is -3, n equals to -3, n equals to -3, what will happen? Your integral would become 1 by z cube dot dz. Now let me know where will be the problem. Sir, problem will be there at z, 0, 0. At these 3 points there will be a problem. It is multiple pole. So sir, for multiple pole, what I can do? Since it is multiple pole, sir, answer would be 2 pi iota into residue. So what will be the residue? Residue would be limit z tending to 0, 1 by, sir, it is repeated thrice. It is repeated thrice. Divided by 2 factorial d by dz of, whoever is creating the problem, remove that. This is what you are left with, and here you will differentiate twice, not once. So even if you differentiate one times, answer will be 0 only, no? So residue is actually coming out to be 0 only. Similarly, if you take n equals to -4 as well, residue will be 0 only, no? Say yes or no. If you take n equals to -4, what scenario you will be getting? 1 by z to the power 4 dot dz, that would be equals to 2 pi iota and r. So where is the problem? So problem is at 0, 0, 0. Again 0, one more 0. What it is? It is, sir, multiple pole. What will be the residue? Sir, for finding the residue, sir, limit z tending to 0. Sir, 4 times it is being repeated, so I will have to divide with 3 factorial and I will differentiate 3 times. What I will differentiate? I will differentiate, sir, f of z, but whoever is the problem, remove that. So what I will be left with, this is what I will be left with. Differentiated 3 times, answer is 0 only. So every time what you are getting this answer to be also 0, this answer also to be 0 only. So what did you see here? Integral z to the power n dot dz, it will come out to be 0. This is integral z to the power n dot dz. We started with z to the power n dot dz. It will come out to be 0 when your n is any integer except 1, and it will come out to be equals to 2 pi iota, plus minus 2 pi iota I will put, because encirclement could be anything, no? So plus minus 2 pi iota if n is 1. No, sorry, n is -1. Sorry guys. Well, let's do one thing, z to the power -n. Let's keep it z to the power -1. So if I say z to the power -n, that means if n is 1, no, then it will become 1 by z. So only this 1 by z, no, this will give the non-zero answer. Rest everything is giving you 0 answer only. Rest all the guys are giving you 0 answer. Is that understandable or not? Say yes or no. Do you remember the P series? Right? Convergence and divergence in the integral calculus we have seen. So it is like that only. That only at z equals to 1 there is a problem. Rest all the guys are throwing 0 answer. So now what they are saying, they are talking about the integers. They are talking about even integers. Right? So this will also be correct. Even integer means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. So this will be correct only, no? Even integer. Say yes or no. So this question is also solved. This was actually a very good question. Some people would have struggled here only. They would think yes, it will come out to be non-zero only. But you see, where are the problems lying? Problems are lying outside the unity circle, no? So this will be equals to non-zero. And some people will be struggling here. They would think z to the power n dot dz. So you would have taken the example. You would have taken n is an even integer, no? So you take n equals to 0. You take n equals to 2. You take n equals to -2. 3 examples you check. Every time what you see that, sir, it is coming out to be 0 only. So I will click on this option that it is correct. Entire function, they were very straightforward. Okay, so actually all four of them are coming out to be 0. All four of them are coming out to be 0. They are not equals to non-zero. All four of them are 0 only. Okay, well and good. So this conclusion you can remember, this is a good conclusion, that only 1 by z dot dz would give you non-zero answer. 1 by z square, 1 by z cube, 1 by z to the power 4, or z square, z to the power 3, z to the power 4, every one of them will give you the answer as 0 only. Only one guy, who is that guy? That is 1 by z. Only this 1 by z guy, this guy is different. Okay, this particular guy is different. So let me change the slide because 50 pages are completed. You cannot add more pages. So what I will do is that I will change the slide and then we will solve few more questions. 4 to 5 questions more we need to solve. And after that our chapter will be completed. So let me change the slide and then I will come back. Yeah, so let's solve this question. If C denotes the counterclockwise unity circle, the value of the contour integral 1 upon 2 pi j real part of z dot dz. This is what we are supposed to find out. Right? So will it be equals to 0? No, it is real part of z. No, it is not an entire function. It is not a polynomial in z. What is your z? Z is x plus iota y. So what is your real part of z? So real part of z is nothing but x. Say yes or no? Or if you say my z is r e to the power iota theta, then what will be real part of z? So z could be written as r cos theta plus iota r sin theta. So your real part of z would be nothing but r cos theta. So yes or no? Right? Now what is our contour? Contour is mod of z equals to 1. Contour is unity circle. Mod of z equals to 1. So on the unity circle, what will be the value of r? So on the unity circle, the value of r will be nothing but, on the unity circle, the value of r will be nothing but 1 only. Always the value of r will be 1 only. On the unity circle, the value of r will be 1 only. And what will be the value of theta? Theta will be going, r will be always 1 and theta will be moving from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So what is the value of z? Z is e to the power iota theta. What will be your dz? Dz would be e to the power iota theta, iota d theta. This will be your dz. Value of r is 1. Value of r is 1 and value of theta is going from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So let's get started. What is your integral? Integral I. That would be 1 upon 2 pi j. 1 upon 2 pi j. Over the contour C you are supposed to integrate. What is real part of z? Real part of z is r cos theta. Value of r is 1 only, no? So let's ignore this. So it will be cos theta. And what is dz? Dz is iota e to the power iota theta d theta, with theta going from 0 to 2 pi. Theta going from 0 to 2 pi. So this is the integration you are supposed to perform. So this integration I hope you can do on your own. So iota goes other side, so it will become 1 by 2 pi. Now in place of cos theta, what I can put? Theta going from 0 to 2 pi. In place of cos theta, sir, I can put e to the power iota theta plus e to the power minus iota theta divided by 2. Iota is already going outside, no? So iota and iota got cancelled out. This is 1 by 2 pi. So e to the power iota theta plus e to the power minus iota theta divided by 2, multiply with e to the power iota theta dot d theta. So 1 by 2 pi, integral going from 0 to 2 pi, e to the power iota theta multiply with e to the power iota theta, this will become e to the power 2 iota theta divided by 2 plus 1 by 2 d theta. You can do this calculation on your own. It will come out to be 0. This will throw 0 and what the other one will throw? 1 by 2 pi. Look, can you do this calculation on your own? Let me add a page. Page would be added, no? Like I can directly write down the answer, but I hope you are able to do this calculation. 0 to 2 pi e to the power iota 2 theta d theta. What will be the answer? Answer will be 0 only, no? So e to the power iota 2 theta divided by iota 2 with the limit going from 0 to 2 pi. So e to the power iota 4 pi will be also 1. E to the power 0 will also be 1 only. 1 minus 1 divided by iota 2 would be equals to 0 only. So that's why this particular part I am ignoring. It will throw 0. And 1 by 2 pi already outside. What this will throw? This will throw 1 by 2 theta. 1 by 2 again outside. 1 by 2 theta. And with theta going from 0 to 2 pi. So what is the answer you are getting? 2 pi minus 0. So answer is coming out to be 1 by 2. What is the answer? Answer is coming out to be 1 by 2. So what is the final answer we are getting? Final answer we are getting is 1 by 2. Understandable? So this particular integral is throwing answer as pi j, because pi j into 1 by 2 pi j would be 1 by 2 only, no? So this particular integral is throwing the answer as pi j. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to solve. not like not you would not say that, sir, it is a it is what, it is not your polynomial in Z. Understandable? Let's go to the next question. So it is not required, let's remove it. Okay, you can directly see that, sir, this integral will throw 0 only, which I have shown. Answer is 0. Yeah, so next question now. Now let's just say this question is coming in your examination hall. F of Z dot dz you are supposed to find out, where f of z is iota z. So what you are supposed to find out? F of z dot dz. What is the contour? Contour is mod of z equals to 1. So iota z dot dz. What will you answer? It is polynomial in z with imaginary coefficient. So what? Polynomial in z, it is polynomial in z. Polynomial in z with imaginary coefficient. So I told you whether the coefficient is imaginary or real, I don't care about it. So what will be the answer? Answer will be 0 only. So without even picking up the pen, you can put up the answer as 0 even if it is of 2 marks. Look, what people think in the examination hall is that, sir, it is coming for 2 marks. That means there is something hidden here. There is some catch here. So what they would have done? They would start by z equals to r e to the power iota theta. Sir, on this where I am moving on the unity circle. That means, sir, r equals to 1. So z equals to e to the power iota theta. Then dz equals to, sir, iota e to the power iota theta d theta. In that manner they will solve. Eventually they will get the answer to be 0 only. Just to be sure in the examination hall. They will not directly believe that, sir, this kind of question in 2 marks, sir, directly answer is 0. There would be some catch. But eventually they will get the answer to be 0 only. So you need to have patience on yourself. You need to believe in yourself. That whatever that you are solving, that is correct only. Answer will be 0. So here, without even picking up the pen, you could have told the answer that will come out to be 0 if you have the confidence. If you don't have the confidence, then there is a problem, right? If you don't have the confidence, then you will solve. But if you have the confidence, you know that, sir, iota z dz, it will be always analytic. It is the entire function. Closed line integral will be 0 only, sir. No, there is no one who can stop it. But if you have low confidence, no, then there is someone who can stop it. That is you yourself. Okay. So have confidence on yourself and you will be able to solve these kind of questions very easily. Now next you need to calculate 1 by z square z minus 4 dz. But what is your contour this time? So your contour is a rectangle. Okay. Your contour is a rectangle which is having the coordinates as x comma y. So coordinates are -1 minus j, -1 minus j, -1 minus j, then 3 minus j, x equals to 3 minus j, 3 minus j, then 3 plus j, 3 plus j, then -1 plus j. So this is the rectangle that we are having, right? Say yes or no. So this is the rectangle that you have. Okay. So these are the coordinates -1 minus 1, -1 plus 1, plus 1, x equals to 3, x equals to 3, y equals to 1, and x equals to 3, y equals to -1. These are the coordinates. Okay. So where is the problem? Sir, problem will lie when this is equals to 0. So z should be equals to 0, 0, 4. So 0, 0 will be here, right? Like basically 2 zeros are there, no? 2 poles 0, 0. They are here. Where will be z equals to 4? This point is z equals to 3. Where will be z equals to 4? This will be your z equals to 4. So which is lying outside. So this is not a problem for me. These guys are the problem for me. That means I'm supposed to find out residue at z equals to 0. I'm supposed to find out residue at z equals to 0. So what will be your residue at z equals to 0? So the residue at z equals to 0 will be nothing but, sir, it is repeating twice. Sir, since it is repeating twice, what I am supposed to do? Limit z tending to 0, divide with 1 factorial, and then differentiate 1 times. And what I will differentiate? I will differentiate everything in f of z after removing whoever is creating the problem. Z square is creating the problem. So what I am left with? 1 upon z minus 4. 1 upon z minus 4. So just differentiate it and then put the limit. Limit z tending to 0 minus 1 by z minus 1 whole square. So minus 1 by 16. So that's the residue that we are getting. Now what is your, this is the residue. Now what is your answer? What will be your integral I? See the encirclement. It is counterclockwise. That means 2 pi iota minus 1 by 16. The answer is minus pi iota by 8. That's it. This is the answer. Understandable? Minus pi iota by 8. Minus pi iota by 8. So answer is this. Very simple question. Very, very straightforward. This time it was not a circle. It could be something else. So if it was a circle, no, then directly without even making the diagram, we could have solved it. How we would have solved it? Mod of z greater than a, mod of z less than a. In that manner, we could have solved it. But since it is not a circle, this time it is a rectangle. Since it is a rectangle, I will have to make the diagram. I would see that, sir, this is lying outside, this is lying inside. Whatever that is lying inside, that will be the matter of concern. I need to find out the residue. Residue is coming out to be simply minus 1 by 16 and job done. Okay, well and good. Let's go to the next question. This question you are supposed to solve. You need to find out the value of integral using Cauchy integral around the circle. Mod of z plus 1 equals to 1. So this time we are having circle. I don't even need to make the diagram. I only need to tell that it is mod of z plus 1 equals to 1. Where will be the problem? Sir, z square analytic, z to the power 4 minus 1 analytic, but when the denominator equals to 0, then you will get the problem. Z to the power 4 minus 1 equals to 0. Did I tell you how to solve these equations? Do you know the solution of these equations? Yes, sir. What I need to do is that I will assume z equals to r e to the power iota theta. Then I will put r to the power 4 e to the power iota 4 theta would be equals to 1. 1 will be written as e to the power iota 2n pi. So from here, sir, I will compare. R will come out to be 1 and theta will come out to be n pi by 2. So n equals to 0 and everything I will put. And eventually, the same kind of equation we have solved. The answer was 1 minus 1 iota and minus iota. You can check. These were the answers. So these are the points which we need to consider. Now what is our equation? Mod of z plus 1 equals to 1. So if I put z equals to 1 here, what I will get? 1 plus 1 will be equal to, which is greater than 1 lying outside. If I put z equals to minus 1, what I will get? Minus 1 plus 1, which will be 0, which is less than 1 lying inside. If I put z equals to iota, what I will get? Iota plus 1, mod of iota plus 1, which will be under root 2, which is greater than 1 lying outside. Right? And what about z equals to minus iota? What about z equals to minus iota? So if I put z equals to minus iota plus 1, that would be under root 2, which is greater than 1 lying outside. That means z equals to minus iota is the only matter of concern. Z equals to minus, not minus iota, sorry, z equals to minus 1 is the only matter of concern which is lying inside. So what I am supposed to do? I am supposed to find out the residue at z equals to minus 1 only. So residue at z equals to minus 1 only I am supposed to find out. So what will be your residue at z equals to minus 1? Residue at z equals to minus 1. What that would be? Sir, it is a simple pole. So for that, what is the scenario? So residue would be limit z tending to minus 1. What I will do, sir, numerator as it is, z square as it is, divided by 4z cube. Numerator as it is, differentiation of that denominator, 4z cube. Just put z equals to minus 1 here. What is the answer you will be getting? Minus 1 by 4. So your residue is coming out to be minus 1 by 4. So what is the integral value? See the encirclement. Encirclement is, they did not give the encirclement. That means I will by default take it clockwise. Sorry, anti-clockwise. Minus 1 by 4. What is the answer I am getting? Minus pi iota by 2. Okay, minus pi iota by 2. So minus pi iota by 2. Option B is correct. Very simple question. Sometimes they can ask you the magnitude. Sometimes they can ask you the magnitude of this integral. So what will be the magnitude? If they would have asked the magnitude. So magnitude means simply you need to take its magnitude. What will be the magnitude here? Magnitude you need to take. So what will be the magnitude, sir? Pi iota by 2, and this is the magnitude I am supposed to take. That will be pi by 2. Magnitude will always be a positive quantity, no? So magnitude simply you can take and that would be an answer. But here they are not asking the magnitude, exact answer they are asking. Last question, this is the question. How will you check it? How will you tell the answer? Will you expand all of them about z equals to 1? Will you expand all of them about z equals to 1? No. You see your f of z, no? What is your f of z? If you see your f of z, sir, f of z is nothing but 1 upon z minus 1, then minus 1 plus z minus 1 minus z minus 1 whole square, then plus z minus 1 whole cube, and so on. Isn't it a GP? Say yes or no? GP with the common factor of minus z minus 1. Just notice it, no? Multiply z minus 1 here, what you multiply with minus z minus 1, what you will get? Minus 1. Then minus 1 multiply with minus 1 multiply with minus of z minus 1, what you will get? Z minus 1. Then again multiply with minus of z minus 1, you will get z minus 1 whole square. So isn't it a GP with the common factor of z minus 1? So what will be your answer? Your answer would be, f of z would be a upon 1 minus r. What is the first term? 1 upon z minus 1. 1 minus r. What is r? Z minus 1. Right? So what is the answer you are getting? 1 upon z minus 1. What this will become? This will become minus z only. So answer is, this is the answer that you are getting, which is option 1. So you will not expand it. Okay? Everywhere you are not going to expand it. It is very straightforward that a upon 1 minus r. What is a? 1 upon z minus 1 divided by r. R is z minus 1 with the negative sign. So answer is coming out to be minus 1 by z into z minus 1. So every time you will not expand it. Okay. So expansion about z equals to 1 you are doing. So this is the expansion that you are getting. Understandable or not? Okay. And if we need to expand, then how we will expand? Let's just say we need to expand this particular function. F of z is given, which is minus 1 upon z into z minus 1. And the question is expand about z equals to 1. Expand about z equals to 1. So how will you expand? Sir, for the expansion, what I will do? First of all, I can separate them. How will I separate? Sir, 1 by z minus 1 upon z minus 1. Yes, this is how I can separate them. If you solve it, this is same thing you will be getting. Z minus 1 minus z, or that would be minus 1. So minus 1 upon z into z minus 1. Yes, this is how you can separate them. So sir, this expansion I already know. But what about this guy? 1 by z. So sir, this 1 by z should be written as, say yes or no? Because I need to expand about z equals to 1, no? So what I can write it down as 1 plus z minus 1 to the power minus 1. So what you will be getting? 1 minus z minus 1 plus z minus 1 whole square minus plus minus rule it will follow, no? Plus minus z minus 1 whole cube plus z minus 1 to the power 4 and so on. Now what about 1 upon z minus 1? So sir, 1 upon z minus 1. You are supposed to expand about z minus 1 only. So what you will do? Keep it as it is. This is already an expansion, no? This is already an expansion. You are supposed to expand about z equals to 1. So this is already expanded about z equals to 1. What is the answer? Answer is z minus 1 to the power minus 1. You cannot expand it, no? It is already expanded. So simply add them up. What is your f of z? So f of z is simply coming out to be that this is power negative. And there is negative sign outside as well. Negative sign outside as well. Plus 1 minus z minus 1 plus z minus 1 whole square, z minus 1 whole cube, z minus 1 to the power 4. Like basically what is the expansion of this? Expansion of this will be this one. And then this expansion I am adding up 1 by z could be expanded in this manner. So this is how I am expanding it. I am getting a difference of negative sign. So answer is incorrect or what? Okay. Sorry guys. This will be a plus sign here, no? A upon 1 minus r. Like basically a plus ar plus ar square plus ar cube. If you solve it, what is the answer you will be getting? A upon 1 minus r. 1 minus r. So what is our first term? Our first term is 1 upon z minus 1. 1 upon z minus 1 divided by 1 minus r. What is the value of r? Value of r is negative, no? So this will become positive here. So what is the answer you are getting? If this kind of blunder you do, no, you are losing 2.66 marks here. Okay, this is a big blunder. You are losing a very good rank. You are losing your desirable seat if you do this kind of blunder. Okay, so answer is 1 upon z into z minus 1. Like when I expanded it, I got to know that I am doing some error here. So this is the answer that I was getting. Look, negative sign, negative, positive, negative, positive. But here positive, negative, positive, negative was there. No, so this is how I expanded. So I just thought that yes, there might be some error. When I checked it, This was the error that I was doing. R value is already negative, so a upon 1 minus r, a upon 1 minus r, minus r value is z minus 1. So this is the answer that I am getting. If I would have marked on option A, then it would be a big loss, right? So this is the answer. This is how you could have solved it, and this is the expansion that I am telling, that how you can expand. What they can ask is that in f of z, what is the coefficient of 1 upon z minus 1 in its expansion? So what is the coefficient? That is minus 1, right? Coefficient of 1 upon z minus 1 in its expansion, that is coming out to be minus 1. These kind of questions they can ask. Okay, or they can ask what is the coefficient of z minus 1 whole square in the expansion. So what is the coefficient of z minus 1 whole square? That is plus 1. Plus 1 only, no? So these kind of questions could be asked in the examination. So you know how to expand, just make z equals to 1 and you can expand. Do you remember the first question that we solved? First question of this lecture, right? Or previous lecture, I don't remember. That question was about like you had to expand about z equals to 2, right? So there what we did? Z minus 2, z equals to 2, we need to expand, no? So this is how something we did. It was in the last lecture, expansion. Understandable? So you know how to expand about a particular point. About a particular point, how to expand. So here we are expanding about z equals to 1. So this is how we can expand. In the last lecture, we have studied this kind of question, no? Although in GATE examination, that kind of question have never come. But if you need to find out the residue about a particular point, if you need the coefficient about a particular point, that means the whole expansion should be done about that particular point only. And how would you do the expansion? That I have already told. Okay, so how would you solve these kind of questions? Simply, what you will do is that you will treat them as GP and you will write down the answer. Treating them as GP, this is the answer that I am getting, job done. So option B is correct. Well and good. Okay, so yeah, this is done. Now next chapter would be, this PDF will be uploaded in our Telegram group with the name Complex Analysis PrepFusion. Okay, Complex Analysis PrepFusion. Complex Analysis PrepFusion. With this name I will upload it. Next we need to start differential equation. And that we will be starting from 6th August onwards. Okay, 6th August onwards. Very easy chapter. Here hardly there is, like I would say, combined hardly 30 minutes of concept is there. Rest everything is problem solving. Everything is problem solving. See the question, solve it. See the question, solve it. Concept will be of hardly 30 minutes. Okay. Here in the initial you might feel a bit difficulty because order, degree, linear differential equation, whether it is non-linear differential equation. So there students struggle a bit, but I will tell you as best possible technique, you will be able to solve all the questions, and then we will see the solutions of differential equation. So different kind of patterns are there. You see the pattern, solve the question. See the pattern, solve the question. Okay, so this we will study in the this will be our next chapter. Okay, and after that our most of the part of engineering mathematics will be completed. For EC electrical instrumentation, everything will be completed. After that we will be left with transform theory and numerical methods. So that is there for mechanical and civil guys. Okay, so this is going to be our next differential equation will be our last chapter for EC electrical and instrumentation guys. For mechanical and civil guys, 2 more chapters are left, which are very simple and very short as well. Okay, so let's see differential equation on 6th August onwards. Thank you very much. Happy learning.